Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might be on this.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nest.
I've written a limerick. I think you'll find it both timely and humorous. There was once a coach named DeBoer, who Oilers fans grew to abhor. Just like Hiller, his moves weren't killer, and now he must mull over his failure.
Well done, Reid.
Welcome to the Western Conference Championship Show. How's it going, everybody? My name is Reid Wilkins. That is Jason Milne. Zach Kubish is here as our sports update deliverer, a technical producer. Joaquin Gage either just gave us the finger or waved goodbye. I couldn't quite look at him at the time. Now he's giving us the double thumbs up. By the way, go on YouTube and click the thumbs up for the show, baby. Yeah, Gager's going to do that right now. He's like, oh yeah, you guys are live. How about this, everybody? Say it with me. The Edmonton Oilers are Western Conference champions for the second consecutive season. That sounds fun to say, isn't it? They're into the Stanley Cup final against the Florida Panthers. We will embrace, I often say embrace the tension. I think today embrace the joy. Embrace the success. Yes, there's one more very, very big step to achieve, but I think it's okay to have little celebrations along the way. This is a great moment of achievement for this team that they won, and perhaps even how they won, Jay, which we're going to talk about as we move along this afternoon. We got a very special couple of guests coming up. Matt Kassian, our own Matt Kassian from the Oil Stream and Two Guys and a Goalie, is going to check in about 18 minutes. And we just love having this guy on to talk hockey and life. Jamie Thomas, the Ground Control podcast out of Winnipeg, will be along for the ride as well. We are happy to hear from you, of course. 780-218-9999. is how you can text us using the afternoon inbox presented by River Crew Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We often get limericks there. I already got a couple in my inbox. You have any?
Probably the same ones you have.
Probably the same. People have now just sent them to both of us.
I got Bronco Nick and Jeff and YYZ.
I also have those too. Well, they just make sure they email everybody they can.
So let's just do Jeff's right now.
Do it right now.
Let's do it now. Happy Friday, gentlemen, he says. Dallas Supernova so purty. Oilers played strong, steady, and sturdy. Love you, Himes, on FaceTime. McDavid's goal was sublime. Never in doubt, would say McCurdy. Jeff and YYZ.
Oh,
wow.
That's a nice touch to
very nice
work
touch
in the late Bruce McCurdy, who passed away a few weeks ago. And the FaceTiming with Zach Hyman after the game from the dressing room. People probably saw those video clips. That was pretty cool as the Oilers win the game over the Dallas Stars 6-3. And so you can email us. Don't have to email limericks, but that's often what we get in the inbox now. And you can also chat with us and with each other if you're using the YouTube stream to take in Edmonton Sports Talk. We have the nasty chat going on there. And also, while you're there, click the thumbs up button. Give us a like. For every show during the playoffs, except for one for some reason, we have reached 200 thumbs. So let's get there on a Friday. Go into the weekend strong. The Edmonton Oilers are playing for the Stanley Cup. A lot of things to feel great about. Now, you might be saying, oh, Reid, I can't sit here on YouTube all day. I got other things to do. Or I can't watch you guys all day. Or you might just be saying, Reid, you're too funny looking to look at for 3 hours. Well, there's audio streams. There's iHeartRadio. There's TuneIn Radio. Get those apps. One click on your phone. Quite frankly, it's like a lot of people still say, "Oh, well, I don't know about that. I'm used to using a radio." I'm gonna tell you a little special hint here. Using an app is easier than using a radio because you can't ever knock the tuning off. So it's easier to just go iHeartRadio, Edmonton Sports Talk, or it might just autoplay if it was the last station you were listening to anyway. So we're really easy to consume. We're very consumable. Some zombie just heard that. He's going to come shambling in the door. Wilkins brains. I munch on Milne.
Okay, I'm not a big zombie guy.
I don't know if they talk like that.
As you could imagine. Is that the cream of the crop as far as what they're looking to ingest?
Brains. They want brains.
They want brain. Why?
Because of the meat.
Wouldn't say your buttocks.
I think they'll eat anything. I think they'll eat anything. Yeah.
I think the buttocks is one of the biggest. A
lot of meaty, fatty, tasty stuff there.
A lot of goodness in that.
Yeah, I think that I think they'll eat anything.
So it's not just brains. You were making that up.
Well, I think that sometimes it could be brains. I think in a Simpsons episode, the zombies were like brains.
See, I gotta poke a hole in that right away, because to get to the brain, you have to get through the skull.
Yeah,
which is very, very dense and hard.
Yeah, they crack it.
Why wouldn't you start with a soft, supple?
Yeah, I'm
bottom?
not sure. I'm not sure how they get to
There's
the brain.
nothing in between them and a delectable.
So that's a really good point.
Treat. Other than maybe a pair of
here, I'm going to compose a dear writers of zombie fiction. We find it quite anyway.
Let's talk about this storyline a bit.
We are very consumable. All the audio streams, YouTube. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube. We're over 12,500 subscribers. When I started here, we were under 10,000. So that's pretty cool. And again, hit that thumbs up. Let's get to 200 likes for yet another show. So what were you thinking watching last night's game? What was the journey for you?
The journey was shock and awe in the first, 12 minutes? 10 minutes? Wow, what a start. And then, but in the back of my mind is, that's not how this game's going to end. That's not how it's going to be written. There will be some form of a competition here. Obviously, De Boer pulling Ottinger was interesting. An odd move, I think. I asked Gage right away, our resident, it's nice to have a former NHL goalie at your beck and call when you have a goalie question. And I said, do you think that was the right move? And Gage said, yeah, he stunk. He wasn't doing it. And it was it more of a move to motivate the team than it was to actually address an issue in goal? We'll get into it more, but that was, and then they came back. They charged back, 3-2. But then when Connor McDavid scored off that block by Ekholm, he hit over 22 miles per hour, by the way, on that breakaway. That was the nail in the coffin for me. That's when it was like, okay, this is done. Because he's done that before. He did that the game prior. Right before the end of a period, just put the boots to Dallas. And that was it. So the rest of it was quite easy and relaxing. It was nice. The family was there watching. Very interested and wanting to know. They didn't stay up till the very end of the game, Reid. But I did catch them before their little eyes shut and told them. Oh, nice. I had to do that. And they were so excited. They were just awesome. Pumped. Yeah. Well, it's nice to hear, and a different experience for younger Oilers fans now who are seeing this as they grow up, being the team being very, very good. I was really surprised how poor Dallas played, given that their, whatever cliche you want to use, their backs were against the wall. Their toes were up against the diving board. Is that a saying? It's not. Toes up against the diving board. We can make it so now. Edmonton played well. Edmonton looked very clinical early in the game. And do you remember when I said to you yesterday, because you always are like, what do you expect tonight? I do. Jay, I always expected to be close. But man, oh man, wouldn't it be something that was 4-0 Oilers after the first period? Because if it would have got to 4-0, there's probably no desperate comeback by the Dallas Stars. And maybe even if it had stayed 3-0 after one. But hey, they fought back. But then
when they made it 4-3, Evander Kane throws it into the crease and gets a bounce off Lindell. Hey, sometimes you put he did that in the second. The play he had in the second period, that should have gone in. Like if you're talking about fair or what should happen, because he had DeSmith slow getting across, and then he got the puck into the crease, and DeSmith almost put it in off his own leg. Like he just moved his left leg forward, and plus Leon was right there to swipe it in. So I think Dallas maybe got a bit of a bounce there, and then Kane got the bounce off Lindell, and then after that, the Dallas Stars did not really threaten. And I understand you can look at a couple chances and say, oh, well, that was a good shot. You know what? In hockey, there's shots all the time. You can't say they're all threatening. And I know we say get pucks to the net, anything could go in. But the Oilers put Dallas in a situation where they would have needed a bounce or a weird deflection or a really nice play because the Oilers suffocated them. They wouldn't let them through the neutral zone. They would rarely let them set up in the zone. They would rarely let them get a good shot away. I mean, they blocked a ton of shots. They got the puck out to center. They just kept working. Remember early on that LA series, I said, man, oh man, it looks like the Kings have 7 or 8 guys on the ice when they're defending. That's what the Oilers looked like yesterday. It was like, where are you going to find room, Dallas? You know where you'll find it? On the first tee tomorrow morning. Oh! But I thought it was just the first 10 minutes, last 10 to 15 minutes, the Oilers were by far the better team. That's why they won the game.
How the turns have tabled.
That's right.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Reid. Was it a more of a matter of the Oilers suffocating Dallas or the Dallas not putting much together?
Well, I think it's both.
But
I think the Oilers took a lot away. And DeBoer, and we're going to get to a couple of clips from Pete DeBoer later on as part of the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. The Oilers defended really, really well, and DeBoer pointed that out, that the Oilers are better than last year because of how they can defend. It's complete commitment. It's no flybys. It's no weak stick checks. Like if there is a stick check, it's usually the body's coming next, or there's another Oiler coming to take the body or take the puck. So I just thought it was a very impressive series by Edmonton. They've been very impressive in the playoffs, really since the second game against LA. Florida has looked incredible as well. Rematch or not, this is shaping up to be a great Stanley Cup final because I think both teams are very well-rounded and very deep and very committed. We've talked a lot about Florida being able to play physical, being able to bully other teams by being smart where they put the puck, by being able to capitalize on turnovers. The Oilers can do all those things. I mean, sure, Bobrovsky versus Stuart Skinner is an advantage for Florida. But as we've seen from Stuart Skinner, if you defend well in front of him and don't put him under too much stress, he usually comes up with the saves he needs to make, and maybe a couple he shouldn't make. Yes, he let in a rough goal against Robertson last night. Well, okay, it happens.
Yep.
I mean, the Oilers, he was still the better goaltender of the 3 who played in the series. So that's why I think this is just, starting in Edmonton, it's... Yeah, I was talking to Doug Plagans, who we had on the show. So Doug does the play-by-play for the Panthers, and I've known him for years now. And first of all, he does a radio show that airs Saturday morning. So I taped an interview with him, and he said, first of all, I'm glad I'm coming to Edmonton in June again because we always came in January or February. And he's like, now I get it, Edmonton in the summer and the warmer weather and how light out it is. But he also said, he goes, it was so loud last year, and the Oilers came back down 2-0, and then they were down 3-0, and it was still loud for those 2 games. And then he said, Game 6 was incredibly loud. You're forcing Game 7. He said, what is it going to be like starting it at home? And I was like, well, it'll probably be, the fans will be quite enthusiastic.
What a flip that is, too. What a reward that is. To get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and you're given, home ice advantage.
So I checked with, I can't remember if Tom used this last night, and I sent it to Dusty this morning as well. I asked NHL Stats, what are the occurrences of a team not having home ice advantage through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs?
Okay. And
then having home ice advantage in the final. So this rules out anything before the 70s, really. So in 2014, the LA Kings had home ice advantage against the Rangers. And in 2012, the New Jersey Devils had home ice advantage against the Kings. So those are, according to NHL stats, those are the only other times a team has reached the last series and then all of a sudden had home ice advantage after never having it before then. Kind of interesting.
Very interesting.
Will it matter? We'll see. It's just funny because a lot of the discussion during the year, and we had it too, was it'd be nice to finish as high up as possible to have home ice advantage.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like, well, they're third in the division. They'll probably never have it. Now they'll have it in the final.
Incredible.
All right. So a lot to talk about. We're going to break down a couple things Peter DeBoer said. We'll get to some comments from Perry Knobloch and McDavid as well. Matt Kassian is going to join us in a couple of minutes as we get you ready for the Stanley Cup final rematch. And our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. So here's our off-topic topic. What is something from your life that you would like a rematch in? Now, this could be a sporting event. And this doesn't have to be, something. This could be, I still remember that game when I was 8 years old in the final of the Sangudo tournament. And we outshot the team 51-10 and we lost 2-1 and I missed 2 empty net breakaways in the last 2 minutes. Now this could also be something from life. I don't know if we want to dive into something too serious or regrets or anything like that. Maybe it's an exam you'd like to rewrite or one question that cost you, getting 90, 80, 100%, something like that. What's something from your life in which you would like a rematch or a redo?
Okay, the quick answer, I have sports and life, one of each. In life, I would like a rematch with university.
The whole thing.
All of it. Give it to me again.
That's great.
I think now knowing what I know, I would have taken it a lot more seriously. Okay. I have a degree. I have an economics degree. But I got it. I did it. But I could have done better.
Okay.
I'd like a rematch with the university. Maybe I should get my master's. In sports, I'll take you back to 2004. Footfield here in Edmonton for the Hardy Cup.
Okay.
Where the Saskatchewan Huskies came in and beat us 21-20.
Oh, no.
And they won late in the fourth quarter. I'd like that game back. I still think about that game. I would like to have been Canada West champs. And they went on to the Vanier that year and lost a close one, I believe, to Laval. But that was
probably Laval.
Yeah, that was gut-wrenching. You?
Even though I came up with this question, I struggled to think of anything. Maybe just because I don't live in the past, baby.
I'd like a rematch with that box of donuts that almost took me down too. I would have stayed the you-know-what away.
Honestly, this is going to sound kind of sad, but there was one time, probably about 15 years ago, I had an allergic reaction, and I didn't ask about the ingredients. And I don't know why I didn't, because I always do.
Yes.
And it was a place I'd eaten before, and I thought it was pretty safe, but I was trying something new. And I started to ask, and then I didn't. And then I was like, oh, I should have asked, and then I didn't. And then the server walked away and brought me something, and I wound up in emergency on IV for a little bit.
Might want to do over there.
Deal with that. No, it obviously didn't kill me or affect me long term. But that was just stupid. That's just one time I look back on something and say I was stupid. I let my guard down and didn't do a habit that I was pretty good at doing.
That's true. I feel for you there because I know that.
Would you like a do-over with the thing from last month?
That's what I said. Yeah. The box of donuts that almost took me down. I wouldn't have touched them. Jasmine says, I wish I invested younger and in Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon. Okay, this isn't a wish list. Invested younger is how are you rematching of that?
Well, I don't know. It's Jasmine. Her life is pretty perfect.
It is.
She's pretty perfect.
It's full of bottle service.
What's she going to need?
Bottle service and Canucks talk. That sums up jazz.
That's pretty much it. All right, that is the off-topic topic for William Huff. What is something with which or with who you would like a rematch from your life? We're probably looking at things more lighthearted or humorous.
Sure.
We're not asking which life's biggest regret. Maybe something. We had sort of serious stories, but we're anyway. I think people will understand it.
You get the gist.
Pretty smart. Keep on clicking that thumbs up button. So we have first of all, we want to get to 100 quick. Get that out of the way. That's not a challenge anymore, really. Then we want to get to 155. That's double word of the day territory. And then we want to get to 200 plus to keep rolling in the postseason. If everybody went in there and clicked, we're doing well. So don't be a pleasure delayer. Don't wait because it's the weekend. Maybe when the show ends at 6, you're Fred Flintstoning it right out of there, and you might forget to click the thumbs up. So get it. I quite frankly, I want 100 by the time Cass is done at 3:40.
Done.
I want 100.
Make it so.
Then we're halfway to our goal with 7/9 of the show remaining. All right. Cass says he's trying to get in, Coop. So I don't know if we got a problem there or not. No. We'll have to send him the link. All right. He's coming up after the break.
In the CFL, Edmonton hosts BC in their final preseason game. Trey Ford, the expected starter for the Elks. Nathan Rourke for the Lions. Staying in E-Town, the Stingers and Bandits go head-to-head. Stingers 2-3 in the early going, while Vancouver is 4-0. Tip-off is at 7 with EST carrying live coverage of the game on all of our audio streams. From Rimouski, Moncton and London face off in Memorial Cup semi-final action. Winner plays Medicine Hat in the final on Sunday. Back out east, Toronto is fresh off a 12-0 shellacking of the Athletics. They play again today. Chris Bassett gets a nod for Toronto. Jeffrey Springs for the A's. Plus, Toronto's Anthony Santander is on the 10-day injured list with left shoulder inflammation. Right now, the Orioles and White Sox are runless in the 4th inning. While at the Memorial Tournament, Canadian Nick Taylor is at 7 under through 18 holes played. Ben Griffin shares first at 7 under through 17 holes. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at AdvantageSportMed.ca to book an appointment today. Former NHLer Matt Kassian is next. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Two guys and a
How about
goalie.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Gager? Does he keep this? Does he roll out another multi-point night?
He's playing at a different level. You guys mentioned it. He's just been playing so well. He's become a playoff performer. You look at the regular season, there's a handful of guys that have done it. They seem to have raised the level of their game. They can smell it, taste it, and almost grab it. That's probably why you see where he's at right now is the reason.
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Now we're live. Okay, Matthew Iwanek was just in here providing us with some spiritual inspiration. What a great coup he is. Did we have Matt Kassian or not? Okay. He is setting up.
What are you doing this weekend?
I will go to the Elks game tonight. I don't know if I'll make it through the whole game, but I want to see at least the first half and see how the starters do. Other than that, I have planned absolutely nothing. TBD, Jay.
No.
TBD, bruh, Jay.
Bruh.
What else am I supposed to do this weekend? Did you have something in mind that I should be doing that I'm forgetting about?
No. I was simply wondering. You gonna eat some pizza, maybe?
That's possible.
Yeah, I know you like the.
What are you doing? You got a game tomorrow?
Stingers.
You're going to Stingers tonight?
Tonight.
Okay.
Football tomorrow, and then basketball tournament tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, wow.
And then Sunday fun day, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. I may, depending on things, I may go to the Oilers practice Sunday at 11. That's the next time they're on the ice. They're getting ready for the Stanley Cup final, which is pretty cool. Game 1 is Wednesday, by the way. We'll have 6 o'clock game. We'll do our usual. You and I will go till 5 on Wednesday. Tom will be at the Canadian Ice House for pre and post. And this guy, of course, a big part of our Oilers coverage here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Former NHLer, the one and only Matt Kassian checking in. Matt, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Still trying to decide if I'm upset with Pete DeBoer for the way he treated poor Jake Ottinger or not. But no, really, I'm good. The Oilers won. People are happy. I've been proved right yet again about Stuart Skinner, and I'm in a good spot right now. How about you guys?
I'm doing well, as is Jay. I want to ask you a question, and I'm glad you brought up the Ottinger stuff. We want to talk about that. But you mentioned the happiness in the city. In the hour or two after last night's game, I got a lot of texts from people, or I texted some people who I know are big fans or would be interested, just sort of sharing like, hey, the Cup final again, they're playing great. I was telling Jay, I won't give you the full story of this gentleman, but a guy I know who lives in Atlanta and is an Oilers fan, and he said, I'm so happy. I've even bought Oilers merch for my pets that I dress them in during games. So a lot of people are invested. So of all the people in your life, whether it's a friend, family member, relative, well, I guess a family member and relative are the same thing, colleague, who's the happiest for how the Oilers are doing?
Yeah. I probably got to go with my nephew, James. The big 9 years old, just had a birthday the other day. I got him some hockey cards, which is what he wanted, all he wanted. For his birthday. So with the hockey cards, he managed to pull a nice little Nuge, which was good. Not a signed one, but it was a nice artifact Nuge. And he probably is the happiest kid I have ever seen right now with them being in the playoffs. And my brother, his dad, pretty close second behind. So I'll have to go with James. And he's in Calgary. So his favorite thing is he flaunts it in front of his buddies at school because they all play hockey. And he's like, he's taken on the heel role because he's an Edmonton fan living in Calgary. So he loves sticking it to them too. So yeah, probably James. He's pretty fired up right now.
That's an interesting age because you have no memory of the Oilers without Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Yep, that's all he knows. But he knows they lost last year. And he remembers having to suffer through that, at 8 years old, and how horrible and emotional that was for him. So he's pretty pumped right now. And I said, I think mostly because he gets to, tell all his Flames buddies at school. And that's the big thing.
Cass, you brought up Ottinger, DeBoer, that call it whatever you want, but what do you think that was planned prior to Pete DeBoer coming? I mean, when you looked at that, you said, okay, he's calling a timeout to calm this team down. That was maybe more of a emotional timeout rather than a tactical timeout. Then, the team comes over. Ottinger's left to go back to his crease, and it looks like, I don't know, you have kids, okay? This is what I thought. It's like if you're giving your kid a little bit of heck. The kid had done something bad repeatedly, they didn't learn, and you're giving them a little bit of heck, and then they look at you like they've never heard this from you in their life, and you just, okay, that's enough. You want to go down this road, that's it. Go to your, it seemed to me like, did Ottinger look at him funny or look at him without any, competitive eyes? I don't know. What's your take on the whole, how that happened? Do you think it was planned?
Yeah. By DeBoer, no. Well, I think when he called the timeout, I think he planned to switch the goalies too. I think that was the plan. And I think when Ottinger went back, it's like he hadn't got to that part yet of whatever he was telling everybody. And I think the frustration kind of, the go to your room, because that's kind of how I felt it was. It was like the go to your room, right? Like that's the vibe he gave. And I think it kind of was that, where it's like, Ottinger's going back, and it's like, I haven't dealt with you yet. It's like you got two kids and both kids were in a fight, and it was a really dumb fight. And you're like, you can't believe you're fighting over this. So I'm going to sit you down and you're both in trouble. But you just finished giving it to the one kid and explaining to them whatever they're doing is not acceptable. And then the other kid starts giggling. Like, it's like, hey, I had nothing to do with this, or I'm off scot-free. And then you're just like, hold on. No, like, you have an issue as well here. And it kind of, it gave me that vibe. So I know people are like, oh, how could you? And poor Ottinger, and media analysts and people were like, oh, I really thought he was going to put him back in the second. And I'm like, listen, the guy's got lit up, and I know those two goals aren't his fault. They weren't. They really weren't. Like, you had a breakaway on one, maybe you'd like that, and then you had a really nice passing play in the other. So it's not like they were like floaters from the red line that went in here. But the bottom line is, your goalie has gotten outplayed almost every single game for the past 2 years against the Edmonton Oilers. And you need a little bit more. So I understand the frustration of DeBoer. And I'm like, yeah, I get that Ottinger's your guy. I get that he's your goalie, but you did need to wake the team up. You did need to do something, and you needed to do something different. So I don't know. I didn't think it was nearly as much of a deal as some people have made about it.
Yeah, we're going to play a clip from DeBoer from after the game, which is, and it was also, and people probably know the one I'm talking about. It's actually one of those quotes, when you hear it, it doesn't sound as bad as when you read it. Because I know when it was being put out there and you just read the quotes, like, oh, what's in this? Like, well, he's kind of just answering a question that he was probably asked. But I mean, a lot of storylines in this series, Skinner, Ottinger, and I like that Skinner clip from the other game. He's like, there's not really a goalie battle. We're not cross-checking each other. We're trying to prevent the other guy from making saves. But Skinner played better. And then you have... and then to me, you have the storyline of, Rantanen didn't score. David scored. Draisaitl scored. McDavid scored a huge goal yesterday. But what's the balance for you between the Dallas Star players weren't able to thrive, or is it the Oilers they flat out stopped the Dallas Star players from doing anything important?
Yeah, I got to pin pretty much this entire thing on the Edmonton Oilers. And I think it's going to be the same against the Florida Panthers, where the Edmonton Oilers, their fate, just as it was in this Dallas series, was in their own hands. Like, when the Edmonton Oilers play and they execute and they play like they're capable of playing, they will win. They will win. Like, McDavid and Draisaitl playing at a high level, with support guys playing at a high level, with defense that just keeps it simple and gets those guys the puck, they will win. It's too much talent with McDavid and Draisaitl, too much ability. And if other teams are focused on them, which you have to be, it opens up things for the rest of the guys. And so I don't look at this and go, oh, it's a colossal failure for the Dallas Stars that Rantanen wasn't able to get anything done. I'm like, well, it goes back to when Edmonton's playing, and they were playing, they're just that much better than everybody else. And there's not much you can do, because those guys just have the puck And if you do get chances, it's only really, and that is really the only chances Dallas got for the most part was when Edmonton made mistakes and gave it up. Like they had a really difficult time generating. Edmonton's forwards, and we didn't talk about this on the pre and post that much during the series, but Edmonton's forwards did a wonderful job of coming back in support of Edmonton's defense. Like you always had guys back. There were very few, if any, odd man chances or rushes against. Like you think of game one, there was a couple, but outside of that, it's like there was barely any. And so I don't fault Dallas's guys. I look at this and go, Edmonton just executed to a T what they wanted to do. They bent a little bit whenever Dallas made a big push, but they still closed down the middle of the ice, didn't give up backdoor tap-ins like they had been doing for the entirety of the regular season with Stuart Skinner net, and they shut it down. So if you're Dallas, I mean, and Pete DeBoer kind of does too. I mean, I think you kind of got to do this. You got to tip your hat, like take it off and basically, yeah, they were just better. And DeBoer kind of does that too, where he talks about them being even better than last year. That is, they are right now. They are playing better than last year.
How about Quaddy in the nasty chat saying, how about Kapanen being the most productive Finn in the series?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That's amazing. Yeah. Like if you had a line on that prior to the series, my gosh, that would have been a massive win. Cass, I can recall what you predicted in round one, but if I'm remembering correctly, you had the Oilers in 6 versus Dallas. Is that correct?
Like for the start of this one? No, yeah. I thought I said Oilers in before the series started.
Yeah.
Or everything. Before the playoffs started, I think I had Oilers in 6 against Dallas in the Western.
Okay.
Before this series specifically, I think I had said I'd adjusted based on what Dallas was doing, Rantanen was playing, where the Oilers were at. And I thought the Oilers were going to win this one in 7. I thought it was going to be a long series. I'm like, they're going to win it in 7. After game 1, watching the Oilers play, I was like, Oilers might win it in 5. Which they ended up doing.
But I look at you and I say, man, that's a smart man. I look at you and I see confidence. I see a level of education that certainly you wouldn't find in most places in this office, aside from Reid, of course. But is it time to consider that this Oilers team is capable of winning the Stanley Cup Finals in a much shorter, amount of games than most would consider? I think a lot of people would say this is going 6 or 7 games. Considering what they've done, dismantling the Kings. I mean, they're 12-2 since starting round 1, 0-2. They're on a heater. Alternatively, is it just that this Panthers squad is that dangerous and should be given that much respect?
Yeah. Well, I think this year's Panthers team is better than last year's Panthers team. And I look at their defense and what they've done back there. The addition of Seth Jones, I think, has been huge for that depth where they're a little bit better than last year. But Edmonton's a little bit better too. And I would kind of go to where, and I know Edmonton loses in game 7. They dug themselves too big a hole last year in the playoffs, but Edmonton for a good chunk of that series was the better team. Even if we look at some of the games they lost early in the series, you got goalied a little bit by Bobrovsky, where your scores couldn't score, and you outplayed them, but you just couldn't score. So I kind of, are they capable of finishing this one with a follow-up gentleman sweep? The Edmonton Oilers? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I think, obviously Florida's going to have something to say about that. Obviously Florida's going to say, we're going to try to be physical. We're going to try to get in on them and disrupt and do that. But I still go, at the end of the day, you have McDavid, you have Draisaitl. If your supporting cast plays close to how they are, if your defense plays close to how they are, if your goaltending is close to how it is right now and has been the last 2 series, I think you win, and you could win sooner than people expect. Like, it's just, there's too much there for McDavid and Draisaitl, even with the additions of Seth Jones and the additions that the Florida Panthers have made. Guys, there's no one in the world that can play at that level when they're at their level. Like, give me the Edmonton Oilers at their best are better than the Florida Panthers at their best. Now, Edmonton's floor is also lower, as we've seen, I think, than the Florida Panthers when they don't play very well. But that's not what we're seeing right now. They're on a heater. We've seen them get on heaters before. Like last year in the playoffs, it wasn't a heater like this. It wasn't, right? But we have seen them in the last 2 years. When they go on runs and they get hot, they get hot. And this year they did as well. We forget that the only reason they didn't was like they had that big break and then everyone kind of fell asleep with the Four Nations. But these guys get hot. They get hot. Could they finish it earlier than we all think? Ooh, very, very possible. But guys, as they did with the Dallas, it's really hard to say until we actually see the teams play. So we'll have a much, much, much better idea of how they stack up after game one.
Yeah. What a wonderful time of year to have the Oilers in the Stanley Cup final. Matt, it is wonderful to work with you. Thanks for hopping on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne this afternoon. You're going to be talking about the Stanley Cup final on Two Guys and a Goalie and on our pre- and post-game shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Have a great weekend, my friend. Really appreciate it as always.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you both. Love you both. You're amazing.
Right on. That is Matt Kassian checking in. One of our many excellent analysts here on EST. So Jason Robertson finished the series with 4 goals and an assist. Tyler Seguin, 2 goals, 2 assists. Then you go to, Harley had a goal and 4 assists. So a couple guys with 5 points. Granlund with 3, Rantanen 3 assists, Heiskanen 3 assists, Hintz 1 and 1. He obviously missed the game. Marchment 2 assists, Sam Steele 2 points, Wyatt Johnson 2 points, Duchesne, Lindell, Bischel 1 point each. So Dallas had 13 players record a point in the series, right? But 3 of them were exactly a point. The Oilers had 19 players record a point in the series. Now, 8 of them were exactly a point. So, similar, but they spread it around a little more. Yeah, Kapanen gets a couple of goals. Kulak 3 points, Hyman 3 before he got hurt. Wallman finished with 4 assists in the series. And then up at the top, you had Nugent Hopkins 9 points, Draisaitl 9, and McDavid 9 points. So, Edmonton did outplay them. This was not a mistake. And we're going to hear that Peter DeBoer clip comparing the two teams. It's impressive. You got to give the Oilers credit. And I love that Cass feels quite confident about the Cup final. We're not going to do predictions today. We'll save them for
Slow down.
I see there's already predictions up on NHL.com. A lot of people still picking the Oilers. Or still picking against the Oilers, I should say.
I was going to say, yeah.
But they've clearly won some people over too, though.
Okay.
Did you look at them yet?
I didn't look at them.
I just went and clicked on it today.
Well, we'll let this air out. We'll let this feeling marinate for a while, and we'll dive into that next week.
We are, of course, coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Craving a late-night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late-night happy hour menu. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet, get real, play hard. We have the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel coming up. We also have Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta. Jay's also going to help me get dressed, all coming up.
At home, the Elks play the Lions to wrap up preseason action. Kickoff is at 7:30. Trey Ford, the expected starter for Edmonton. Nathan Rourke for BC. And from the Hive, the Stingers battle the Bandits. Vancouver is 4-0 entering the game with Edmonton 2-3 on the season. Listen to the full contest right here on EST with all of our audio streams having live coverage of the game. Tip-off is at 7. Else for the Wildcats, a night scrap with puck drop at 5. The winner of that game moves on to battle the Tigers in the Memorial Cup final on Sunday. In Toronto, Anthony Santander hits a 10-day injured list with left shoulder inflammation. Jays recalling outfielder Alan Roden from Buffalo in response. And just after 5, the Jays meet the Athletics once again. Chris Bassett gets the ball for Toronto. Jays winning 12-0 in their series opener yesterday. Right now, just one game is live. The White Sox and Orioles runless in the 5th inning. While on the Lynx, Canadian Nick Taylor and American Ben Griffin share top spot at 7 under at the end of round 2. Canadian Mackenzie Hughes is also in the mix, tied 12th. Even entering round 3. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. 15. The show continues after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses, chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
There it is, the Thumb Click remix, as put together by the irreplaceable Zachary Kubish, reminding you to give us a like if you're on YouTube. I'll tell you what did the morning show finish at? Oh, they were over 1,100 at 7:30 when I looked.
I think they're going for a new record.
So we can certainly ask for 1/9 of that to get to 200 by the end of the show. Can we not? Now I know they did their gentleman sweep show. Like I get nauseous even saying the term. There's like bile in my mouth right now. I can smell sulfur. But if everybody get in there and give us a thumbs up, don't wait till you're going to sign off. Don't wait till your work day is over. If you're in YouTube, go in there, click the thumbs up button, share the show link with other people. That's a great way to remind people. A lot of people out there who maybe, let's face it, Jay, there are some people who maybe aren't big sports fans in this city. I know there aren't many. Or maybe they're new to the city, new to the country, and they're trying to be like, what's going on with this Oilers team? Send them here. Text them and say, hey, look, check out this station, check out this show. These guys are talking about it a lot. They're doing a great job. They got all the coverage that you need. So give us a thumbs up there on YouTube. We're 5 away from 100, so let's climb well over 100 here between now and the top of the hour. May I submit another limerick for the record, Mr. Milne?
Well, you may.
I'd like to present this. Exhibit A, a limerick written by Reid Wilkins at 3:48 on May 30th. The court will sound out. Ekholm, Kulak, Bouchard, and Nurse. A D in pursuit of a championship purse. King, Knight, Star, not up to par. All left the ice in a Zamboni hearse.
Ooh, body bag. You might as well keep going. We'll get to Bronco next.
Sure, go ahead.
Oilers are headed back to the final, sending the Stars fans into denial. Dallas was stoned as Skinner owned, and Ottinger was pulled. Spinal.
Oh, wow, pretty good.
I think I was supposed to say spinal.
I also have words with, I have one more lyric. I also had final in my first line and had to rhyme things. I didn't do the same thing as Bronco Nick, though, so I think it'll still come through okay.
The off-topic topic today was something you would like a rematch in.
Right.
Send in whatever you got, whatever you want to have a do-over or try again.
Yeah.
Mike from Calgary says, my redo, tell my school crush, Jessica, how I felt.
Well, her last name was
No, I don't know if I should say it. What if she's listening?
Yeah, how long ago was that?
I don't
Is this
know.
from 40 years ago or from 4 years ago or 4 months ago?
I don't know. Jessica S, we'll call her.
Okay.
How he really felt.
Yeah, that's because what else has happened in his life?
What if she's still waiting for you, Mike?
Yeah, or has Mike remained single? Has he perhaps...
I want more on this story.
Yeah, now if he's married and his current spouse is listening, whoa! It's going to be quite a Friday night.
Awkward weekend, Mike.
Maybe we could pair them up on our show.
Maybe matchmaking.
Yeah, we could have. So what's his? It's Mike and Jessica.
Mike and Jessica S.
So we have Mike on. We could come up with some segment like, hey, Mike, we're profiling Oilers fans. Come on and talk to us, and we get them on, and we're like, oh, Mike. So we do all the regular little cutesy questions. By the way, I got all those down.
Okay.
Oh, how long you been an Oilers fan? Oh, how nervous did you get during games? And then we're like, sorry, Mike, someone else is on the line here. And then we bring up the video box, and it's Jessica. Mike, Jessica?
And she's, Mike, is that you?
Yeah. And we're like, Mike, is there anything you'd like to say to Jessica? Of course, he's tearing up.
Yeah.
Jessica, I don't know if you ever knew, but all the time in grade 11, I thought you were so cute and so funny, and I should have told. And she's like, I know, Mike.
Mike, I've left home.
I know, Mike. I knew you felt that way, and it's just not reciprocated. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on. No.
Why did I go that way?
No, you can't. You can say, Mike, I just wanted to let you know that I've left my home. Where are you, Mike? And Mike's just, he can't talk because he's crying too much.
Then I don't know what we would do, though. Then it's awkward.
This is kind of awkward.
This segment brought to you by... maybe that could be our weekly connection, which is something new we're going to get to in a couple minutes. Tease. This is something relatively new. Well, we've been doing it for a month now because it started May 1st. It is Jay's play of the day.
It's Jay, his play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
And it's presented by Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instance, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca.
Well, we were close last night. We had the Oilers to win, and Nuge needed a point.
Right.
Gosh darn it, when that net was empty at the end of the game and Nuge was on and out there, I thought, okay, got a fighting chance here. But our quest for 6 in a row will have to wait. But
you had a good run.
But we can get it off on the right foot. I'll tell you that, Reid. Because the odds came out today over at playalberta.ca. If you go to playalberta.ca, click on the EST specials, and you will see Jay's play of the day. And I'm going for it. I'm going out on a limb. We haven't, we'll do our formal predictions and why and all that probably Monday or Tuesday. But I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't know if this is an Oilers in 5, but I don't think it's gonna go to 7. So I'm landing on Oilers win the Stanley Cup 4-2. So Oilers in 6, that is plus 550. That's a banger. So if we can nail that, that's going to make a lot of people happy. A lot of Glue Crew members happy. Because here's the thing. The Oilers are the 8th team in NHL's expansion era to reach the Stanley Cup Finals after losing their first 2 games in that postseason.
Of the playoffs.
Well,
I know one of them for sure, I think. Or are you asking me or not?
Well, I don't have the list of all of them because
2006 Carolina, I'm pretty sure.
The other 7 teams that did this, that went to the Stanley Cup Finals after losing their first 2 games of the postseason, all 7 of them went on to win the cup.
Really?
I like that stat. So that's Jay's play of the day over at playalberta.ca. And if you haven't, you've got today and tomorrow before the new promo codes come out. Deposit 20 or more for a $100 free bet on sports using a promo code 100sports. If you just want to deposit $5, that's fine too. Use the promo code YEG50 and you can receive a $50 free bet from playalberta.ca. And always remember to use your game sense. I like Jay's. I like this.
That's awesome.
You sprinkling, bro?
I did. While you were talking. Carolina in 2006 lost the first two games of the playoffs at home 6-1 and then 6-5 in double overtime to the Montreal Canadiens. They went into Montreal, won 2-1 in overtime, won 3-2, went back home, won 2-1, and then clinched the series 2-1 in overtime against the Canadiens. And, of course, they went on to beat the Oilers in the Stanley Cup final. That is an incredible stat.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, and Big Uke just posted all of them. Big Uke, you're an amazing man.
What is he?
He is a molten mound of mountainous, manly magma. Or something like that.
Dave in Section T, who was here yesterday, he made some fine burgers yesterday. He said for you, Reid, to drop by the tailgate. They'll be setting up at 4:30. Well, you won't be there all that early. You might just get there.
I'll
just
probably
for game
be getting
time.
there just for kickoff, yeah. I appreciate the invite, though. Yeah, if I see anybody I know, I'll certainly say hi.
Sean says it would have been cool if Reid and Jay bought into the whole gentleman sweep and came in wearing tuxedo t-shirts.
Yeah, is it not cooler to do your own thing?
Because it says you want to feel formal, but you're here to party too.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you exactly when I'll buy into the gentleman sweep thing.
Oh,
never.
Baby.
Never.
Oh, baby.
Never. Okay?
That's fine.
1,000% never. Why don't we do the connection, or the weekly connection after the break?
Sure.
Because it's this one, if you are on YouTube,
you're gonna want to
if
watch.
You're not on YouTube, we'll describe what we're doing. But this one has a visual demonstration.
Yeah.
And given my, I can be kind of klutzy. Like, I'm not a good sort of, not technical. What's the word I'm looking for?
You're not a handy man.
I'm not handy.
You're not a handy man.
I'm good in the kitchen. But if it's like, hey, Reid, like measure this and cut it, it's all, I'm like all of a sudden my hands don't work and I'm dropping things and
not the guy.
You know, I might hurt myself. This has an element of that, but it's a really cool local product, local company that we have on board the Reid Wilkins Show, and we're going to show people what it is because it's actually really cool. But Jay, it requires a bit of fine tuning of the product.
Yeah, we'll go through it all.
We'll go through it all.
Do a product review.
It's actually nothing like bad or dangerous.
No,
but Jay is going to have to help me with it. I'll quickly tell a story today. It's so like we talk about Oilers. So this morning I had to go get a quick checkup for the eye I had surgery on about a month ago. So I don't know if people have been through this process, but I had to get my eyes dilated, right? So they put drops in so your pupils get comically large. I don't know if they still are or not. They definitely were earlier.
Not as much as they were earlier.
So then the ophthalmologist can shine a light in there and actually see the retina and around the inside of your eye. So, you know, he comes in and he's like, oh, hey, yeah, just okay, yeah, you've been dilated. And he's looking in my eye. He's like, so did you take in that game last night? Yeah, sure. Sure did. Like, it's just great. It's just a great energy.
Well, it's good when everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a topic in the water cooler.
Yeah. And then when I was done the exam, I may have shown him the iHeartRadio app and how to get our station.
There you go, Reid.
Why not?
Why not?
Good opportunity to do it.
Sure.
So that was pretty cool. What's still coming up? More limericks. That's important. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Fired up for Gemco. Jamie Thomas from the Ground Control podcast in Winnipeg.
Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont. You know, we've always talked about him and how
glad it's warmed up for him now because he was out there in January.
But I don't know. We might want to order a little bit of a cold snap because he made quite a cheeky comment to us.
Oh, what did he say?
He says, as much as I love everyone at EST, I think a zombie would have pretty slim pickings for eats at the station. You know what he's referring to.
Dude, the brains
lack of brains.
Yeah.
He's saying we don't have brains.
Wow, that's harsh.
He did put a laughing emoji, so I'm going to let him off
that's
the hook.
good. That's pretty funny, actually. Keep clicking the thumbs up. We need 30 for double word of the day. So let's get there. If everybody got there and clicked, we're double word of the day, and we're teasing 200. And then once we're over 200, we're just pouring gravy on ourselves. So if you want to see that or think about that,
baby,
if you want that visual. All right. We'll explain what's going on with the weekly connection. We're going to have the oil understood. We'll hear some key clips from after last night's game. Jamie Thomas is coming up. Here's the 4 o'clock break.
The Lock Shop.
To be honest, the number for the Oilers to win the cup should be the same as the number for
McDavid
to win the Conn Smythe. I can't imagine a scenario where, because you do have Draisaitl. If Draisaitl went and scored 8 goals in the final.
Yeah, if he went crazy.
But unless Skinner throws 4 shutouts in the 4 wins, I don't know how it's not McDavid.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian-owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL. Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits, Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
From Edmonton, the Elks challenge the Lions, wrapping up preseason action. Trey Ford is Edmonton's expected starter, while BC gives Nathan Rourke the start. Kickoff is at 7:30. In basketball, the Stingers look to buzz the Bandits. Edmonton 2-3 entering the game. Vancouver 4-0. Listen to the game right here on EST with tip-off at 7. All of our audio streams having live coverage of the action. Out east, Moncton challenges London in the Memorial Cup semifinal. Medicine Hat takes on the winner of that game in the final, which goes Sunday. MLB action as the Jays rematching the Athletics. Toronto winning 12-0 in their series opener yesterday. Jays giving Chris Bassett the ball today. Meanwhile, Toronto has moved Anthony Santander to the 10-day injured list with shoulder inflammation. Outfielder Alan Rodin being called from Buffalo. Right now, midway through the 6th, the White Sox and Orioles are runless. That's the only game live right now. And at the Memorial Tournament, Canadian Nick Taylor and American Ben Griffin are tied for first at 7 under at the end of round 2. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. The Edmonton Oilers are in the Stanley Cup final. It starts Wednesday at Rogers Place. They will play the Florida Panthers. Elks have a home preseason game tonight at 7:30 against the British Columbia Lions. And then next Saturday night, when there's no Oilers game, they're in BC, in Vancouver, to start the regular season.
Big.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And you're going to the Stingers tonight. Who are they playing again?
Vancouver.
The Bandits?
The Bandits.
Weren't they the Fraser Valley Bandits at one point? I think they were.
Great question.
I'm pretty sure they were the Fraser Valley Bandits. All right. 780-218-9999.
Maybe they still are the Fraser Valley, but they just now said Vancouver. Maybe they're based out of the Fraser Valley. What is a bandit? Is that?
I think their logo is like a raccoon or something. Yeah.
Poor raccoons.
They play at the Langley Event Center located in the Fraser Valley.
There you go.
They were formerly known as the Fraser Valley Bandits, but after a sale of the team, the name was changed to the Vancouver Bandits.
That's a tough
because the rest of Canada didn't know where Fraser Valley was.
That's a tough look for raccoons to be labeled as bandits. Well, just for looking the way you were born.
They're born with a mask.
That's sad. I feel for the raccoon people.
The raccoon people.
I do.
Half raccoon, half human, all scrounger. You can text us at 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. We're going to have some comments here from Chris Knobloch, Peter DeBoer, Corey Perry, Connor McDavid. But we want to introduce a new segment to the show, and it is the Weekly Connection presented by Connect. So can you tell us a little bit about Connect, Jay?
Absolutely. So Connect, the belt company, they are 100% Canadian owned, operated right here in Alberta. 2 U of A alumni.
Oh, wow.
Both were high-level volleyball players. It's the belt. I've been wearing Connect belts for years. It's a smooth track system that you use to put on your belt. So they actually supplied the whole EST crew with brand new belts. So everybody got those. And they have offered a special promo, which Coob has put up. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a QR code on the right side of the screen. That'll take you to their website where they're offering an exclusive 20% discount for EST listeners, viewers. They have men's and women's belt. This is a great gift. They offer corporate pricing, and this is great for if you have a business and you're wondering what you should get your employees for a bonus or Christmas gift. They can handle all that. Italian full grain leather, genuine leather, premium canvas options are available, and it's a perfect fit. It's a belt that it'll be the belt for the rest of your life, Reid. Now, there is a way to do this because one
Do
size.
I need to stand up?
Yeah, you stand
I gotta
up.
take my headset off.
One size fits up to a 44-inch waist. Now, Reid, you're not a 44 waist, right?
No.
So. So each of them come with this fancy belt buckle, which, as you'll hear, when I slide this in, you hear this? So it's a smooth track system, which you can easily pull out. But slide that thing around your waist, Reid. We're gonna fit you right live on air.
Belt. Hang on, I'll get it.
No. Just put it around your waist.
Oh, just put it around
around your shirt.
So usually I would put it on.
Yeah, okay. So because they come in one size fits all, you can trim it down. Okay. So we're gonna want to cut off about yay much.
Okay.
Right?
So you're actually gonna cut it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it.
Okay.
So you take a pair of scissors. You cut it to the length.
I'm not doing the scissor part. Most people will be perfectly safe with it.
Reid, it's called scissors. And you put it in. You lock it in place.
And that stays like that.
In there. You've got a brand new belt that connects. Like that. And it's got a quick release trigger. Watch this.
Whoop. And this is a local company that invented this.
Spencer and Tanner, both U of A alum. Tanner's a really close personal friend of mine as well. So I've been supporting their products for a long time. And the nice thing is, you got this belt buckle that is removable. So if you want to go and get a brown belt, go get a brown belt, keep the belt buckle.
Oh, right.
And you've got a variety of belts. Yeah, they're awesome. And I'm just pumped that we have the weekly connection that's going to be coming on. So we're going to connect with guests. It's going to be a fun segment that we're going to be running here with Connect. But they do have that offer for EST listeners, viewers. There's a QR code there if you want to go check out what they have. I mean, if you're looking for an awesome gift for your wife, your mom, Father's Day. Is Father's Day coming up?
Yeah, it's in June.
Father's Day's coming up. Check it out. There's 20% off. So yeah, looking forward to it. That's the weekly connection, Reid.
All right, so we'll have the weekly. And what does now? If people are looking for their product in a store or online, how do you spell connect?
KNKT.
And does that also stand for something?
It does actually. It stands for Knew Nothing, Kept Trying.
That's awesome.
Which, as they describe, was a humble mindset characterized by determination and perseverance. If you want to support a couple local dudes trying to make a go at something, check out Connect. You won't be disappointed. They are awesome. And like I say, I was raving about it because I've been wearing these belts for a long time.
So you already had them. They're new for the rest of us.
I have them. My wife
cool.
have.
Very cool.
They're great.
Thanks for cutting it for me, because I would have found a way to totally wreck it.
Yeah, I don't like the skizzers around you, Reid. I'm gonna
put those away.
Over
Get
there.
those off the table. I'll somehow hurt myself with them. So that's really cool. So next week, when you hear us talking about the weekly connection for Connect, you'll know what we're talking about. So we did a little visual and audio demonstration for all our audience members this afternoon. Really cool stuff. Jamie Thomas coming up in about 10 minutes we just like having Jamie on the show. We'll talk hockey. Who knows what else. We also have the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood.
Oh, I should have.
Well, we could have done the belt clicking noise.
Do it again.
GCL Diesel. Diesel. There it is. There it is. Understood. All right. So, of course, the Oilers advanced. Here's Peter DeBoer on pulling Ottinger.
And you know what? I didn't take that lightly, and I didn't blame it all on Jake. But, the reality is if you go back to last year's playoffs, he's lost 6 to 7 games to Edmonton, and we gave up 2 shots on 2 goals in an elimination game. So, it was partly to spark our team and wake them up, and partly, knowing that, status quo had not been working, and that's a pretty big sample size.
All right. Look, he pulled a goalie who let in 2 goals on 2 shots. I think he's saying there's a point at which you can't just worry about the caliber of the goal or the caliber of the defending in front of the goaltender. You need a save. I mean, we've had that discussion about Oilers goalies a lot this season. The only thing I found awkward was how he did it. Like that Ottinger's, but what was it? Cass that just said last half hour, maybe he was getting to it and Ottinger was already going back to the net. And DeBoer was like, the timeout's not over. I still have 5 seconds. And
I'm not done talking yet.
I don't know. I mean, Gager's been on the bench. Who knows how he's going to address his team? But to me, though, you should have already told DeSmith that he's going in, and Ottinger sees that. Now, who knows? Maybe Ottinger is ignoring it. Maybe I couldn't see DeSmith on the bench at the time. By the way, was Ray Ferraro breaking down Ottinger's play while he was sitting next to him on the bench?
Yes. Yes, he was. And it was, I mean, that would have been awkward. He was literally sitting right behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, because the backup goalie, most of the backup goalies, from what I see, they sit on the zone side of the bench. Like the bench, the end of the bench that's at the blue line or just inside the blue line. They don't sit at center ice. But I guess the Dallas backup goalie, I guess the Oilers backup goalie sits at center ice. Just back a little bit.
But the way that happened, Reid, would make me believe that this was almost a snap decision. And I think as an NHL coach, there should be no snap decisions made behind the bench in the throws and the emotions of a game. I honestly, that's my thought anyways. That's my opinion. Whatever happened, I don't know. But from what, the eye test, it didn't really pass it to me. Now, if Ottinger stays in the game, is that a different game? We'll never know.
We'll never know.
But I found it odd. I did. And that answer there, I mean, what was he expecting? I mean, he was hung out to dry on those 2 goals. I mean, I guess the Janmark goal, you could ask for a save. But that tap in on the power play, that's the second game in a row where there's been a wide open Corey Perry in front of the net.
Yeah.
That's not on your goaltender. I'm sorry.
Okay, so here, I'll ask you this question then. The Dallas Stars are facing elimination. Throughout the series, Peter DeBoer has said, of all the guys I worry about Jake Ottinger the least. And then he pulls them. And then, so you could, in game, you could say, well, Ottinger is paying the price for the poor play of his team in front of him. And they were bad. Like I said to Tom last night, Dallas treated the first 10 minutes of that game like it was intramurals at the St. Vincent School for Poorly Coordinated Boys. But then after the game, he comes out, like he basically said, DeBoer basically came out and said in that clip, he never beats Edmonton, so why would I believe that he beat Edmonton? The flip side to that is, you've always shown faith in this player. So I wonder if Dallas Stars fans are talking about last night and tonight, did we have our best possible lineup on the ice with our season on the line? Like, does he need, should have he said, Ottinger's our number 1A beauty goalie, he's playing unless it's 8-0.
It was interesting to hear Kelly Rudy talk about it at the intermission.
Yeah.
Because the question was brought up, do you put Ottinger back in?
No, I never considered that happening, quite frankly. I never considered that Ottinger would go back in.
And I don't know that you could. I mean, you'd really have to fall on your sword as a head coach in Pete DeBoer to put Ottinger back in the game, right? And what headspace is Ottinger at now? You just told me you don't love me. You think I'm not good enough.
Right.
Now you want me to go back in and help you win? Get out of here. Get real.
Yeah.
Right?
But hey, one of these things that we're picking apart a decision made by another coach because the Oilers played really well. And DeBoer admitted that in the process of answering the question, was this the best Dallas team you've coached?
I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it was. Maybe on paper, I'm not sure it was the best team. And I think, I'll have to look at it. But I think the way we ended the season, I think bled into the playoffs a little bit for us. Which I think, still doesn't sit right with me. Although we found a way to get through 2 really tough teams, that was a little bit of a red flag for me, that it went on that long and the way it went on. But that's stuff I'll have to look back at in the summer. So, your question on paper, it might have been the best team we've had here. I'm not sure it was the best team we've had. I can tell you, on the other side, that Edmonton team is better than the team we played last year. Deeper, defend harder to play against. That's a lot better team than the team we played last year in the conference final.
All right. So compliments for Edmonton, which I think are well deserved. Andrew put an interesting comment in the nasty chat. That move felt like a guy who knows if he doesn't win that game, he is fired. Andrew, that's a really interesting discussion. Now we're having about a coach in another market. We're not totally there for the vibe. But I'll tell you this, in Peter DeBoer's 3 seasons in Dallas, they've gone to the conference finals every year. They've lost to Vegas, Edmonton. They've gone 108, 113, and 106 points. Is his job on the line? Like, I have trouble looking at Peter DeBoer and thinking his job is on the line. I have trouble looking at that interaction with Ottinger and thinking his job is on the line. Part of the reason I say that is because there are instances in which a coach gives a bluntly honest assessment of a player and everything's fine. Now, I know Rick Bowness isn't coaching the Jets anymore, but there was the year they got eliminated and he basically came out and said our best players played like a bunch of wimps, like to paraphrase. And I was like, oh man, that's going to fracture the relationship. And he was back the next year and they smoothed it over and everything was fine. So I would say to Andrew, that's an interesting comment. I don't know. I guess we'll find out if if something happens in the next week or two. But is this a guy that the Dallas Stars need to move on from after his record there in 3 seasons?
I think you'd really regret it. I mean, isn't he referred to as Mr. Game 7?
Well, yeah. What is he, 9-0 in Game 7s or something like that?
Yeah. Penner's Pancakes in the nasty chat. How is Peter DeBoer 9-0 in Game 7s and 0-6 in conference finals? Bizarre.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. He's got to get him to Game 7.
But that's again where you as a coach, you put out the best lineup you can. You know, did he have control over Rantanen not scoring or not producing the way that he was?
Well, I mean, you just could keep looking for line combinations, or like he put Maverick Bourque in and tries to do things. But yeah,
speaking of,
if he's
Maverick
fired by
Bourque,
Dallas, he'll get whatever job he wants
wherever
if it's offered to him. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. People would be lining up to have him as their head coach.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting comments from him. Certainly had praise for the Edmonton Oilers. We still have clips from McDavid, Perry, and Knobloch coming up as well, but we wanted to give that other perspective there from the other dressing room. Of course, Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio every Monday, bowl for just $2 all day at the Banquet Bar. Walk in, grab your friends, and start your week with some fun. Get real, play hard. The Banquet. Jamie Thomas next. Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
From Edmonton, the Elks go head-to-head against the Lions in their final preseason contest. Trey Ford is the expected starter for Edmonton, while Nathan Rourke gets a nod for BC. Kickoff is at 7:30, and CEBL action has Edmonton hosting Vancouver in the Hive. The Stingers 2-3 entering the game tonight. The Bandits 4-0. Catch the game right here on EST with tip-off at 7. All of our audio streams carrying live play-by-play coverage of the matchup. Elsewhere, the Memorial Cup semifinal goes down at 5. Wildcats take on the Knights, having the winner moving on to face the Tigers in the final. Well, in Toronto, the Jays play the Athletics. Toronto smacking the A's 12-0 yesterday. Chris Bassett takes the mound for Toronto. Jeffrey Springs gets the ball for the A's. Meanwhile, Anthony Santana of the Jays has been placed on the 10-day injured list due to shoulder inflammation. And right now in the top of the 7th, the Orioles have taken a 2-0 lead against the White Sox in the top of the 7th inning. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. Jamie Thomas is up next on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into Banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL, Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits, Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Friday afternoon, it's 4:24. The Edmonton Oilers are in the Stanley Cup final for the second consecutive year. That is very cool. Jay and I are with you until 6 o'clock. Tomorrow on the stream, we got the Stingers game tonight, actually, at 7:30. Jay's going to that. Many of us here at Edmonton Sports Talk, including me, will go to the Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium to see preseason action between the Elks and the Lions. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., Belsey, Tom Gazzola. Until noon, have Hello Hockey. Golf shows coming up, Sunday morning with Murray and Curtis. So that's pretty cool as well. If you're checking us out today, specifically through the YouTube stream, or if you're on one of the audio streams, hop into YouTube quickly and hammer that thumbs up button.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, we're almost at 155, double word of the day territory, so let's get there quickly, and then we'll soar on from there to 200. Quick limerick here. This one is from VR. You didn't read VRs, did you? No, you read Broncos. Who calls himself today Voltage Regulator Montenegro. A dominant performance from the drop of the puck. The Oilers destroyed Dallas, leaving them awestruck. A strange goalie pull, coach questionable. Now bring vengeance upon that rat turtle Kachuk. The rat turtle. That would be a very interesting animal. Perhaps something straight out of the cantina scene in Star Wars as we welcome Jamie Thomas to the show. JB, how's it going, buddy?
What a fine collection of people at the cantina, isn't it? Only the finest people gather at the cantina in Tatooine.
I'm pretty proud of myself. I came up with that spur of the moment because I didn't pre-read the limerick. I just trust that people aren't going to put filthy stuff in there. Are you before we get to the hockey stuff, JB Thomas, if somehow somebody doesn't know Jamie, he's from the Ground Control podcast, the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets, longtime sports broadcaster, including a stint here in the city of Edmonton. Are you the biggest Star Wars fan that you know, or do you know other people where you're like, holy crap, like they're more hardcore than me?
I think I know more people now that say I've never watched Star Wars than I do people that have watched Star Wars. And if you are one of those people that haven't watched Star Wars and are proud of it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. But I think I'm the biggest one I know. I obviously know there's bigger ones out there. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos of the movies and shows afterwards that break things down. I thought I knew everything. Those guys know way more than I do. And they're making money off it. Had I known that you could make a living off this stuff, I would have been more intense in my coverage of Star Wars, forgot sports, and just did YouTube.
Right. Well,
if I knew YouTube was going to be a thing, I would have stepped away for a bit and started watching more interest, instead of zoning out every once in a while when I watch it on TV.
Jamie, I respect Star Wars. I do appreciate the originals, the ones that we grew up watching.
As you should.
Yeah, not so much, into the newer ones or the Sith or, that guy, Darth Maul. But I want to know from somebody that, is very knowledgeable of Star Wars, when Disney took over the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, okay. Now you're touching a real spot here. So go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask you, were you worried and almost like a protective a father of your beloved Star Wars that Disney was going to, put the Disneyfication effect onto Star Wars? Because now Reid, and I've heard from other people, and like this Andor is apparently like the best. So
the best.
Are you relieved
than,
now?
Like the real first movies.
Yeah. So are you comforted? Are you relieved? Because I'm sure it was at first it was a bit of shock value to somebody that's a Star Wars purist.
Okay, here's the thing. I made a massive mistake one time when I went, like I'm sure lots of people do this. I went down a rabbit hole of just negativity of Disney handling of Star Wars. And then I started to realize those same videos I was watching, these same guys were negative about everything.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I can't watch these guys anymore because they're just like they ruined everything. But I would keep, The Acolyte, which is the worst show in Star Wars history by far. And it's not even close. I would watch these guys and then get more mad, but then watch the next episode just to see what else they could screw up. So that's a bad place to be, Jay. You don't want to be in that place as a Star Wars fan. So thankfully, Disney has got their act back together, spent a little money, got in some good writers, and made a really good show with Andor, both season 1 and 2. And then make sure that you watch Rogue One immediately after you close down season 2 of Rogue One, Andor.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch Rogue One because I thought that was like an okay movie that not everything clicked for me. But I loved Andor. I said this to you during season 1 when we were texting. I said it is grown up Star Wars. It's the totally Star Wars for the guys like us who saw the first movies when we were 4 and then kind of kept watching kids' movies into our adulthood, hoping to get some of that magic back. And there were bursts of it, but then Andor is just outstanding. Like, to me, it's only just barely a notch below like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Like, I think the writing and the storytelling is that good.
It's so good, Jay. Listen, I've been critical of Star Wars for a very long time now, but it's like Reid said, it's grown up Star Wars. We made the mistake as Star Wars fans as going to see The Phantom Menace and expecting to be blown away. Instead, we were just disappointed because we weren't, as Reid said, 4 or 5 anymore. And one of my favorite stories is when I went to see Return of the Jedi in 1983, my friend Russ Graham's birthday party. We stood in line. I was 12. We go see the movie, and then after the movie, we're in his backyard. Russ has got a tent party set up. We're going to sleep outside. I made the mistake of being running around the outside of the tent and sticking my face into the tent, and Russ punched me right in the nose, man. Like, he just thought I was doing that people that live inside of your walls thing. Shoved my face in there. Russ Graham, who was huge, absolutely clobbered me. I don't know how I didn't break my nose, but that's my Return of the Jedi.
We'll find Russ Graham. We'll track him down for you.
Russ Graham, I'm coming after you, man, but you're probably still bigger than I am.
Jamie, just wanted to catch up. I mean, is the lawn up to date now? Have you now been able to get outside and get the weeds under control now that you have a little bit more time on your hands? What are you doing with it? And
is that Jay? Is that a dig?
Oh my, Jay!
No!
Don't mock him.
I'm not mocking
He
him.
didn't lose the series.
No! I do not mock Jamie Thomas. I am simply asking an honest question, okay, Jamie? Because I know you were just, that was your everything while it was going on, and I'm sincerely wondering. I just, is everything good? The wife happy now that the lawn is, everything's happening the way it should be?
Well, my wife's putting away the groceries right now, and she's thinking about the next 3 months where she has to put up with me every day.
Yeah. She wishes.
She is so busy trying to figure out ways for me to go back to the office. She's like, they should think of things for you guys to do during the summer. And I'm like, no, hold on. She's coming up with ideas for stories for the next podcast. She's got all these ideas coming up, so I'm out of the house. But to answer your question, Jay, the yard is as good as it's going to get. You know what I mean? There's some dandelions. I used to go crazy over dandelions. I'd sit out there for hours pulling them all up, and then my son was like, "You're insane." And I thought about that for a second. And so there's about 10 or 12 random dandelions on my front lawn.
2 words, Jamie. 2 words.
Yeah.
Par 3. Just Google par 3. It'll change your life when it comes to dandelions. There.
Will I be laughing with an evil laugh as I spray it on everything?
You may.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you may.
This is great.
I love par 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching those things die, man. I hate to say it.
Is old man Thomas watching grass grow? No, he's watching dandelions die. Look at him snicker.
He's staying up. Dad's sleeping outside tonight, watching them die. He's hoping for the best. This is living, guys. This is living. While you guys are watching the Stanley Cup final, I'm watching dandelions die. That's the best of the excitement that I have right now.
Jealous.
Yeah. No, you're not. Now get going. Let's
we
talk
will
some hockey.
We will talk a little bit of hockey with you because we like having you on for that as well. Look, we a lot of the Jets were maybe a lot of people's second favorite team in other Canadian markets. I think even here in Edmonton, a lot of people wanted to see them do well. I know we've had, we have some very loyal Winnipeg Sports Talk listeners who tune into our shows and participate. And we've got a little bit like How could Winnipeg not beat this team given what Edmonton is doing to them?
Right.
You watch very keenly. What, if anything, did Edmonton do to Dallas that the Jets weren't able to do?
I think first off, where the last series went wrong is the Jets losing game 1 to Dallas and then losing home ice. And you could just see how dejected Scott Arniel was, understanding with their struggles that they had on the road, but losing that first game. But I think that was a product of the emotion and energy that was spent winning the 7 games, in particular the amount of energy. And I'm talking everybody in the city. I'm talking the organization. I'm talking the fans. A lot of people were emotionally spent after winning game 7, being down 3-1, winning in double overtime. But there wasn't that. By the time the third period rolled around, it was too late when the Jets got to their game. So Edmonton's special teams was better than Winnipeg. Had a hard time on the power play in the series against Dallas. That was a big game changer. I'm not going to get into the projectile puck by Connor Hellebuck on the third goal in game 3, where the NHL made up a rule to make up for their crappy decision to allow the kick goal to count on the third, the goal-ahead goal in game 3. Still not mad about that. I mean, but the breaks, Dallas lost all the breaks that they got. So I think they used them all up against Winnipeg, but not to take anything away from Edmonton. Jets win game 6. They're going to win game 7. And then on top of that, man, like they lost Morrissey in the third period in game 6, and then, Scheifele playing the way that he did after losing his dad. There's a lot of things, but I just think Edmonton is where Winnipeg wants to get. Edmonton is built for this stuff. Edmonton mentally prepared for all this. They went through a lot of roller coaster last year. I love what Chris Knobloch said last night to Gene Principe about the fact that, there's a few games this year where they didn't look like they were giving it their all because they were thinking about the playoffs. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with guys, not so much mailing it in, but that 100% give it all, put everything on the line kind of goes away sometimes when you understand what it takes when April rolls around. So I just think Edmonton is better prepared mentally for the grind of the playoffs. Winnipeg learned a valuable lesson in that series against St. Louis and certainly another one against Dallas. I think they'll be back next year ready to take another step because all this shows everybody is how hard it is to win at this time of year. And Dallas has been to the conference finals 3 years in a row, so they have more experience in this category. They understand of the emotional roller coaster, or if something goes wrong, or if they lose a game, that's not the end of the world, or in a moment. So Edmonton is just mentally in a better place. And Stuart Skinner makes a couple saves, changes the whole narrative of his life, and I'm really happy for Stuart Skinner because the way things were going for him, you felt bad for him. You feel bad for any human being when they're struggling that way. And he's a great goaltender because he got him the Stanley Cup final last year. So it's great to see him. And I just think Edmonton is just a little further ahead of Winnipeg in that department of just understanding the up and down of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
All right. So we'll give you the last question here, and then we'll get you back to your yard work and unpacking groceries.
Yeah.
What is this? Because this will be interesting from you because you're the team you're watching all the time is out. So now you're kind of watching everything. What does this series between Florida and Edmonton come down to in your mind?
Edmonton's ability to work through all the stuff that's coming at them physically from Florida, which I think they're clearly better prepared for this year. The guys that they brought in the trade deadline are healthier. They're more prepared for this series than they were last year, obviously. And when they only finished 2 goals away from winning the Stanley Cup. I just think the Oilers are primed for winning a Stanley Cup. It's there. Florida, I'm not even going to say Florida is going to be burnt out because they're here again for the 3rd straight year, and they made it look easier this year than they did last year. So, I mean, outside of a couple of hiccups against Toronto, Florida's been just as deadly efficient as the Edmonton Oilers have been. But it just comes down to Edmonton's ability to fight through all the garbage that's going to come at them physically between whistles. And I don't think they're going to bite. I think they're ready this year for it all. And people will hate Matthew Tkachuk less this year and maybe hate Brad Marchand a little bit more. But Edmonton, everyone in that roster is prepared for what's coming. And I do not think there's going to be any retaliation penalties or frustration that's going to get them in trouble because they know it's coming. And I think Edmonton wins the Stanley Cup, guys. cities, I think people will be ready for a special series. And don't get me wrong, I still think this goes 7, but Edmonton's going to win. Period. That's all there is to it.
There's an official prediction from Jamie Thomas.
Yeah.
Jamie, you're
Oilers
a wonderful.
7.
You're Oilers at 7. You're a wonderful human being. Thanks for coming on the show. We may bug you during the Stanley Cup final just because you're fun and you're friendly and the audience loves you too. That doesn't hurt.
Thanks.
But have a great.
Ask the audience how you fix pee spots in the backyard where your dogs kill the grass in winter.
Oh, is your dog peed all over?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's just male. I think isn't that just male dogs?
I think you got to take your dog out of your yard.
Yeah, I think you got to eliminate the dog, Jamie.
Wow. Reid, when it's minus 40 out, are you walking the dog around the block? Or are you just like, I'll fix the grass in June. I'll fix it later. I'll get to it later.
Spray paint, Jamie. Spray paint.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I think they do that at Augusta. Grass isn't green enough. Just paint the course. All right.
Did you guys, before I go quickly, do you guys remember that spray on hair?
Oh, yeah.
Makes you the hair in a can. That's what you need.
Yes.
That's what that's some good 90s stuff. I'll see you guys later.
All right. Thanks, Jamie. Jamie Thomas, Ground Control Podcast, official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets. We love chatting with him. Knowledgeable guy, fun guy, always keeps us informed and entertained. So we appreciate it. Oh, that was good.
He's one of the.
He's one of the best.
Such a bright.
Had you ever talked or met him before you started here?
No.
You just knew who he was from.
I still haven't met him
tube.
in person, but soon I hope.
Oh yeah, you've never actually met him in person.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
can't wait.
Well, you feel like you get to know him. JCD 780 says, Reid, you need to fix the bass on your mic. Do we got an audio problem?
I don't think so.
I don't know if we do or not. We'll see if other people say anything. Unless there's a fish smell coming off my mic. Need to fix the bass on your mic. Imagine if I had a little fish hanging down. Oh, yeah, that is distracting.
That's Willie, my bass. Imagine having a pet bass.
Maybe it was Danny Bass.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, sure. that would be a great name for a bass. If you had a pet fish bass, you'd call him Danny.
Danny Bass.
Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's awesome. All right. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And of course, this station, Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. It's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and of course, sports betting. New players can get started with a $100 casino bonus by depositing $20 with promo code 100casino or a $100 free bet using 100 Sports. Play smart, play local, and don't forget, use your game sense. All right, we're going to have some more comments from your Edmonton Oilers. We'll have some fun with buying or selling and fired up. We are, if you want to click the little thumbs up icon on YouTube, we are literally one thumb away from double word of the day. But we want to get to 200. So everybody get in there and click to be the 155th person, and then we'll go way up and probably get to 200. So there's a simple solution. Now people are making fun of poor JCD in the nasty chat. All right. Maybe my voice is just too deep for him.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. We should do that someday. Just talk in incredibly low voices. And you'll be like, hey, your mics are messed up. What are you talking about?
Yeah. We summer shows. That's all we can say. Summer shows.
Yeah, we may have some divergences during the summer shows.
We're going to get weird in the summer.
Possibly. Well, we'll both be off a little bit too.
Yeah.
We might not be together as much.
What are you going to do when I'm away? Are you just going to rock it solo?
Oh, I have no idea. No one's told me.
Well, I think it's up to you. Your name's on the show.
No, I think I get told what's happening. Well, when you've been away, yes,
who?
I've been solo.
By who?
Matt? When you've been away, I've been solo.
Yeah.
Now, I did book some people to come in and spend an hour with me.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Lawrence from the Alouettes did an entire show with me. But yeah, I've never been approached and said, hey, like Iwanek has never come up to me and said, hey, Reid, I'll do the show with you. He probably wouldn't want to either.
He would. I like if you're
Does he
away.
Want to?
Because you've taken off some time in August, I believe, and upcoming in in July.
I have booked 2 weeks off in August, and I booked 1 day off in July.
Right.
After the season ends, though, I will book some time off late June or early July or mid July. Yeah, I might have to go to Brazil and get a new eyeball.
Anything can happen.
JCD now says that he had the bass boost on LMAO. All right. Problem solved. But for some reason, he only thought it was me. It was coming through too low. All right. That's fun. You know who else is a fun dude and does a great job with our sports updates? Hawk and Coob.
In the CFL, Edmonton hosts BC in their final preseason game. Trey Ford, the expected starter for the Elks. Nathan Rourke for the Lions. We also have Hamilton on the road in Toronto, and the Red Blacks taking on the Alouettes. Sting in E-Town. The Stingers and Bandits go head-to-head. Stingers 2-3 in the early going, while Vancouver's 4-0. Tip-off at 7 with EST carrying live coverage of the entire game on all of our audio streams. In the WNBA, Paige Beckers of the Wings is out at least 2 games, being placed in concussion protocol, while from Rimouski, Moncton and London face off in Memorial Cup semifinal action. Winner plays Medicine Hat in the final on Sunday. Staying out east, Toronto is fresh off a 12-0 shellacking of the Athletics. They play again today. Chris Bassett gets a nod for the Jays. Jeffrey Springs for the A's. Plus, Toronto's Anthony Santander has been placed on the 10-day injured list with left shoulder inflammation. Right now, the Orioles lead the White Sox 2-0 in the 8th inning. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The show rolls on after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, hope you're having a great Friday afternoon, baby. Hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. Oilers off today, off tomorrow. They will practice on Sunday to get ready for the Stanley Cup Final. Elks play tonight at 7:30. Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium against the BC Lions. Their second and final game of the CFL preseason. Stingers play tonight. If you can't go, like Jay is, you can listen to the game on the stream here on Edmonton Sports Talk, where we got a 7:30 tip. 7 tip. Sorry, 7 o'clock tip. So that's on tonight. Hello Hockey on from 10 a.m. to noon until tomorrow. And then what's going on with the VIP golf show, Coop?
Well, we have a very special guest on Sunday. Starts at 8 o'clock with Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock. We have Corey Connor's caddy, Danny Saul.
Local guy.
Local guy.
Sherwood Park.
Went to Bev Facey.
Yeah, I interviewed him several. Did he not caddy for Vijay Singh?
Yes, he did.
Earlier in his career. I think Danny's also a big Oilers fan. Is he not?
Oh, he'd have to be.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the last time he was on the show, he was actually wearing an Oilers cap.
Well, there you go. All right. So that's fun. So a lot of great stuff coming up on EST over the weekend. If you are tuning in on YouTube, well, however you're tuning in, thank you very much. You might be on a podcast listening in the future. But if you're on YouTube or you can jump into the YouTube stream, give us that thumbs up. We need 30 thumbs for 200. Yet another 200 thumb show. We got basically 66 minutes to get there. So we need about a thumb a minute, and we're a little less than thumb a minute. We are double word of the day territory. Was it yesterday I went 4 for 4?
Yes.
That was massive.
Huge.
That was the highlight of my life.
Huge. This comes in from an unnamed texter, but it's an 808 area code.
Which is?
Don't know, bro.
I'll look it up right now.
It says, Reid, I live in Murica, so I have to stomach the ESPN feed. And Ray was analyzing Ottinger and his play while standing 8 inches from him.
Yeah,
for a good 5 minutes. Ray is a yell talker, so Otter had to hear him for sure.
808 area code covers all of the Hawaiian Islands, according to a quick Google search.
Is someone listening from Hawaii?
Quite possible.
Now, let's talk about pronunciations. You say stingers. I say stingers.
Yeah, but
I've always thought it was Hawaii.
Yeah, how else would we say it?
Well, I think properly you're supposed to say Hawaii.
Hawaii.
It's like Hawaii.
I don't notice a difference.
Not Hawaii.
Hawaii.
You're saying Hawaii.
Am I? Okay, that sounds the same to me.
Hawaii. It's almost like Kawhi Leonard.
That's
you say Kawhi
difference. It's not even really a difference.
It's not though. You can hear it.
All right.
Hawaii.
Okay.
I don't know. I might be wrong, though. I've never been to Hawaii.
No, it's too far away. Can't swim that far.
It's a long swim.
It's far. It's a long way away.
Normology says, no audio problems, but you do sound a bit fishy.
That's pretty good. That is really good. Those texts, of course, are coming in to 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. All right. Yeah, if that person is still there, let us know if they're currently in Hawaii.
Yes, please.
And if we're saying it correctly or incorrectly, or if they care. Because they could have a phone from that area code, but maybe, well, he did say he's in the States, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to know, where are you? If you want to share, but I just find stuff like this interesting.
Yeah.
Where are you? Why do you listen to us? How long have you been listening to us? Do you like the Oilers? Are you listening for the Oilers coverage? Are you listening just because you like us? Are you listening because
Star Wars?
Because of Dustin? I don't know.
Jamie Thomas?
Let us know. Well, Jamie's great. Jamie's incredible.
Matt Kassian?
He's also great.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of great people on the show and
we
at the
do.
station. What do you want to do? Do you want to do buying or selling now?
Yeah, let's do
it. We can do it now. Buying or selling, presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate.
The Oilers are down Hyman, but otherwise healthy, right? I mean, you look at last year's Stanley Cup Finals.
I think they're going to get Brown back.
Kane
he can jump out of a closet. Did you see that?
That was awesome.
Apparently, he was there for several minutes.
Maybe
out of a cupboard, I guess.
Well, some people were saying that is the concussion protocol.
You got to go sit. That's the dark room.
Yeah,
that's the quiet room. But get in there.
Buying or selling, the Oilers are in a better health situation now than they were entering the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, geez, I don't even remember what. Besides Kane being banged up and
Wasn't
then eventually not playing,
nicked up throughout.
Yes, there was something wrong with him and Nurse too, right?
Yeah.
The Nurse never really. I mean, Draisaitl didn't score in the Stanley Cup Final. Now there could be players who are dealing with things. See, that's a tough one though, because Hyman is actually out of the lineup.
Yes,
I mean, I guess. What did Knobloch say? Is that he's probably not going to play? I don't know. Is he trying to keep the door open for playing in Game 6 or 7? I don't know, but I don't think we're going to see Zach Hyman. Now, they did get Ekholm back. There isn't anybody that... I guess, looks banged up. I mean, I think with Draisaitl, you could say that playoff year and other playoff years, maybe he looked a little hindered. Man, that's a tough one, Jay, because like I said, Hyman is actually out, and he's one of their best players. But maybe in terms of all-round health, they would be in better shape. But I think they also have, well, they certainly have a better team on D, I think, and are playing better, and they have a little bit more experience. I guess I'll take a moderate buy on that one.
Yeah, I would also say that. And given that you've got back a fresh Ekholm, who looked pretty good last night.
Played fine, yep.
Played fine. Had a great assist on that block shot to spring Connor McDavid.
That was a good bounce. Ekholm didn't take a penalty, but he was, fighting for the space in front.
But I mean, it's the same thing you could say, though, Reid, that we don't know yet what's going to come out when this is all said and done and who was nicked up and who was playing with what.
Exactly.
There's usually those kind of stories. Chris Knoblauch is the 6th coach in NHL history to make the Stanley Cup Finals in their first 2 seasons as a head coach.
The other 5.
I don't.
Oh.
Didn't list them. Buying or selling.
Where do you get these stats that they don't list everything?
They just didn't.
Is this from the NHL email?
Want me to look?
Well, no, it's fine. I just like doing trivia, that's all.
Buying or selling, if the Oilers win the Stanley Cup, Chris Knoblauch is on his way to a Hall of Fame career.
No, you can't say that after a season and 3 quarters.
I'm just asking the question.
No,
you can disagree.
No,
with
he's probably a decade and a half away from that being declared.
Matt laughed at me when I brought that up to him.
Owanek?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I'm kind of doing the same, my friend.
It appears you are. I'm not saying hey, that's got to happen. I'm just asking a question, baby.
No. It's way too early to say that.
Fine.
Let's hear from Connor McDavid, though. Just talking about the readiness of the Oilers team. He was asked about this year as compared to last year.
Well, I think we were better for going through last year. It was a great learning experience, and it's really driven us all year. I think this run has felt different than last year. It's felt very normal. It's felt very, I don't want to say boring because it's not boring at all. But just a little, it hasn't been as emotional. We haven't had the highs and we haven't had the lows. Just kind of been steady. And I think that's put us in a good position. Those games can be emotionally draining. We're not drained. As Bob referenced, we've got lots of depth. We got as good a chance as they do. Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. He said they have lots of depth. You and I were talking about this year's roster versus last year's roster. I'm not going to get too much into that because this year's Oilers team is never going to have to play last year's Oilers team, right? And whenever I think I've said that I feel this year's roster is better, and then whenever I bring that up, somebody's like, "Well, what about Ceci? Well, what about Broberg?" Okay, we can go round and round with that. So I'm just going to kind of let that lie. But I found it interesting that he said this year it all feels normal, and he goes, "It's not boring, but we're not as emotional, and we're just steadier." So you got to have a good team. You got to have talent. You got to have hard work. But we've talked a lot about this. You have to have the emotional control. But this is an interesting thing. Did it ever feel normal to Oilers fans in the first 2 games against LA, and then even having to come from behind in Game 3 and win Game 4 in overtime? Those were pretty tense times. But I think what Connor McDavid is saying, we were never feeling like we're on the edge. We were never feeling like LA had us on the ropes. And we even saw that in that series. The Oilers did not panic. Down 3-1, down 5-4 in some of those games. They have never shown any panic. And I found it interesting because the last 2 games the Oilers lost have been quite devastating ways to lose. Final second against the Vegas Golden Knights, when, let's face it, one of your best players accidentally puts the puck into his own net. And then even Game 1 against Dallas. That was a crushing way to lose a game if you think about it. You're playing quite well. You have the lead. You take 3 penalties. At least 2 of them were silly, and Dallas scores on all of them, and you don't respond. I mean, and what were the dialogue on, well, what's going to happen? Why can't they get it under control? I think what McDavid is saying, we've learned every series won't be easy. We've learned you will suffer crushing defeats. You just got to do it to the team more often, the other team more often than they do it to you.
I mean, we've talked about this, and I've brought it up because I truly believe in it. The maturity of this team, the process, the growth from last year to this year, all of that prepares you for greatness or trying to achieve greatness. And you can see it. I mean, all the credit to Florida here that they deserve. I mean, that's going to be a tough out. It is.
Yeah.
This is a different team. This is a team, Reid, that did you expect? Okay, let me ask you this. Maybe coming into the playoffs, what style of team did you think the Oilers needed to be? Or did you think they would be? Even if you thought they would make it to the Stanley Cup final, I bet you didn't think it would be a 5-on-5 defensive team.
I didn't think that they would check with the thoroughness to which they've been checking. I did not think they'd be as willing to just get into the muck as they have been. And by the muck, I don't mean the fighting or the scrums. I mean what we've been
Tough
talking
places
about.
To go.
The pucks along the board. Like, I know in hockey they can say, well, you got to control the middle of the ice. Yes, but sometimes to get to the middle of the ice first, you got to get the puck off the wall.
Well, and what'd you say last night on the postgame show? That this team, what do they do the best that surprise you? They grind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a complete
departure.
Grind it out.
From what Oilers fans saw in the regular season. Sure, it really is.
Right.
It's a very surprising, happy, positive departure, albeit.
And a lot of the quote-unquote skilled pretty goals are coming off of a grindy, gutty type. Like even McDavid's breakaway goal. Did they get a bounce? Yes. But you got to block the shot first. I mean, the Oilers have literally blocked. I mean, by now, the team blocked shots would probably be around 1,000 after. I mean, if you're getting 30, well, maybe not quite. It would literally be in the hundreds. Okay, so you got one that bounced right into the neutral zone for the fastest player on the team to get a breakaway. Probably the only time it's going to happen to them in the postseason, but that's what you're fighting for, right? You're fighting for all those little breaks. So anyway, it's really cool to see them playing this way.
It is.
I think Florida does very similar things well that the Edmonton Oilers are currently doing, and that's what makes this such a compelling series. Like, I don't think you can say maybe a little bit like last year, Edmonton's the skilled special teams team, and Florida's the grindy, punchy in the mouth type team. I think both teams have skill, and both teams have the punchy in the mouth and grind type attitude.
That's why it's going to be a great series.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Starts Wednesday at Rogers Place. All right, we're still going to do, I don't know what Jay has for me.
We got fired up coming up.
I know you have some special little video for me.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into touching the trophy. Lots to come in the final hour.
Double word of the day as well. We need 30 thumbs on YouTube to get to 200, which would keep an incredible streak alive during the postseason. Don't delay any longer. Get in there and click. Share the show link with other people. Encourage your friends and family, colleagues, enemies to give us the thumbs up as well. Here's the 5 o'clock break.
The EST Hangout.
No one jumped on my motorized penny farthing into the studio comment. It's a stupid name.
We already know what that is.
Perfect name for a gentleman's suite, though. Absolutely.
Would you like the vision?
A penny farthing?
Should we buy you one for your birthday in September?
Saying penny farthing.
You can then say it all the time. Go for rides downtown, the bike lanes, and the penny farthing.
It looked like such an asshole.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
In Quebec, the Wildcats and Knights scrap with puck drop. In just a moment, the winner of that game moves on to battle the Tigers in the Memorial Cup final on Sunday. And at home, the Elks play host to the Lions to wrap up preseason. Kickoff at 7:30. Trey Ford, the expected starter for the Elks. Nathan Rourke for BC. And there's 3 other games, including Montreal in Ottawa and the Ticats facing the Argos. Meanwhile, from the Hive, Stingers, Bandits, Vancouver 4-0 entering the game. Edmonton 2-3. Listen to the full game right here on EST with all of our audio streams having live coverage of the game. Tip-off is at 7. WNBA News sees Dallas's Paige Beckers out at least 2 games as she heads to concussion protocol. Audi's Anthony Santander hits a 10-day injured list with shoulder inflammation. In just a moment, it's the Jays meeting the Athletics. Chris Bassett gets the ball for Toronto. Jays winning 12-0 in their series opener yesterday. Right now, there's one game live. Right now, it's the Brewers up 2-0 on the Phillies in the end of the first inning. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one, Coop. You had to save this one for a game day. Well, it is an Elks game day. Is this preseason game day music?
Yeah, baby.
You think so? This is getting you fired up for the preseason game tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Elks, Lions at 7:30, and Stingers, Bandits at 7. That's what's going on tonight. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be rocking.
Have you been to a Stingers game yet this year?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, they had a couple of home games earlier, right? And they won on Wednesday at home, the one we were giving away tickets to.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
They did.
May I read my third and final limerick that I prepared today?
You may.
I have another submission to the limerick file. Would you believe it's the Stanley Cup final? Classic, like spinning the stones on vinyl. Oilers and Cats, watch out for rats. Richie's first name? I tell you, it's Lionel. Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Reid, once again, you amaze me.
I really have wowed everybody. Well, mostly Jay.
Norman at Combine says, hey guys, let's go double E. He says, is there a pre and post show? There is not. The Green and Gold kickoff show and postgame show will start next Saturday for game 1, week 1 of the regular season as the Elks travel out to BC to take on the Lions.
Yeah. I wonder why they didn't call them the Vancouver Lions.
As opposed to the BC Lions.
Yeah. We'll never know. Well, you could probably look it up. I'm not really that interested.
The Ontario Argonauts would sound pretty good.
The Ontario Argonauts, yeah.
The Alberta Elks.
So what teams do we have in Canada that are named after the entire province? BC Lions, Manitoba Moose, they still exist, right? That's all I can think of. Maybe there's one in the Maritimes. I don't know.
But is it the Saskatchewan Rush?
Oh, Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Oh,
How could I forget about them?
Is it the Saskatoon Rush or the Saskatchewan Rush?
I think it's the Saskatchewan Rush.
They just lost the NLL championship last
did they?
weekend to the Buffalo.
I used to cover the Edmonton Rush a little bit. I didn't mind watching that, actually.
Is there an Alberta team? The Alberta...
It's called they were called the Alberta Oilers, the first team in the WHA. I don't know if there's a team just called the Alberta, because Edmonton and Calgary have such a rivalry. Like one city, if it was based in one city or the other, it'd be like
Manitoba Bisons. But that's
university's different, though. Yeah, like
Alberta Golden Bears.
I would say that's different because it's a university.
Sure.
Cool. What do you got?
Saskatchewan Rush.
It is Saskatchewan Rush.
It is a Saskatchewan Rush.
Right. I can't believe I forgot the Rough Riders. Well, then again, if I upset some Rough Riders fans, oh well.
It was the Quebec Nordiques.
In Quebec City.
But two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Anything out in the old Maritimes?
Yeah, I don't know. Like
Prince Edward Island Poppies?
Well, I think there was, what's the name of the team? Was there not a Quebec team called the PEI something at one point? I don't know if they still exist. Have you ever been to PEI?
No.
Well, we'll have to do a show from out there. Just fly out for the day. It'll be incredible. Oh, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day. Oilers are in the cup. Pardon me.
Bless you.
I should have smoked all those cigarettes during the break. Well, Hernan left them lying around. Somebody had to take care of them. Time to get fired up for Gemco. Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years and the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street.
Well, my fired up's pretty simple, Reid. And it's just the simple fact that this playoff run, obviously, I'm taking it in this year in a much different manner than I did last year.
Okay.
As I was not a part of Edmonton Sports Talk at this time last year.
Was the store still open? Last
No.
May, June? So
No.
you were unemployed. What were you doing? Just sitting there?
Sitting at home in my gaunch watching the Oilers.
Really?
No. Shorts.
When did your responsibilities? We're going on a tangent, everybody. Imagine that. When did your responsibilities with the furniture store actually end?
The end of May. I had to be out of the warehouse, and everything had to be gone.
And everything's signed off. Like there's nothing. Hey,
Yeah.
Jay, you got to come sign
Done.
this, or some pinhead lawyer is like, excuse me, Mister.
Well,
we
that-
need to
yeah.
transfer $15.
That'll happen. That still happens.
Hey, by the way, I apologize to all the lawyers who aren't pinheads. All right.
But if you are a pinhead lawyer, no apology. So it was different last year, okay? So this year, obviously, I'm much more engaged in the games than I was last year. Obviously for different reasons. But to see and go through this with my children, to see, my oldest is 12, my youngest is 8.
Right.
And they, like you said earlier, they've only grown up with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Right.
That's all they know. As I grew up with Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier and Yari Curry and all the greats, you can go on and on. They're experiencing that. And I think that's really unique and cool. And I'm excited for, like I said last night, they were in bed when the game finished. And I went and I told them, I said, hey girls, the Oilers are going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And their faces lit up. They were so excited. And I really selfishly am was very hopeful that the Oilers do go ahead and do this and finish the job. And I can take the girls out of school that day that the parade's on.
Oh, wow.
And say, you're not going to school. We're going to go watch this parade. We're going to watch sports history together.
Right.
Because it would be the first time that they've experienced a championship, and we've experienced a championship as a family. And I'm just excited about it. It makes me fired up because you never know when you're going to have another chance at seeing that. I mean, it's been since 1990, Reid. I was 8.
Yeah.
And you had Glenn Anderson and Grant Fuhr and Kevin Lowe and lifting the cup.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to take them there, and I want to be able to say, look, this is it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. We might have to work if there's a parade.
We will broadcast from there, I'm sure. But they can be there. I can be with them.
Yeah.
They can come. Maybe they'll broadcast.
Hey, you feeling for me?
Yeah, sure. I just not anybody that's out there that has children to be able to experience this and go through this as a family is cool.
Yeah,
and it's very rare. And I'm of the belief that the Edmonton Elks are going to make some big noise this year.
I hope so.
And at that point, you can then whether it's this year or next year, things are turning around for them too. To get back to the city of champions, to get back to that. Gosh, Edmonton, really?
Yeah.
I hate Edmonton. I love that. For this city, for the young people that are growing up in it fires me up.
Well, that's great to hear. And I do hope. And I mean, look, the profession that I have chosen and the specific job I now have requires that, at times you have to be critical and point out shortcomings. But I also try to remember that side of me, that it is sports. It's fun. It's fun to watch competition. It's fun to watch crazy games. It's fun to remind yourself that it's not going to be perfect. You got to remember the other team's trying really hard as well. But I often think about the games because now I'm watching the road games usually with my mom and dad. And the whole time I was on Ched, I'd never watched Oilers games with them, ever. I was at the home games and at the Ched studio usually, or at Rogers Place watch parties for the road games. So I often think, I just hope that people have many people to share this with. And it doesn't necessarily mean watching the game with somebody. I mean, some people might get so nervous they prefer to watch alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, now with texting and everything, I just hope that it's helped with the connection. That people have others to text with after games or see the next day at work. I imagine a whole bunch of people going into work the day after Oilers games, and you make a beeline for that person's cubicle or stall or work area or whatever, just to get in a couple minutes about the game before you get going on your day. I wonder if they feel we got to support each other. We got to celebrate together. And to me, that's the cool thing. Right? It is about a sense of community. It is about supporting your home team or supporting your home team now that your home might be somewhere else, like my buddy in Atlanta or the people in Hawaii or wherever we get tuning in from. We're just getting all old and sentimental. Remember when we used to be curmudgeons when the show started? What's happened to us? Now we care about emotions?
Losers.
We're softer than soft cheese.
We're softer than your pet bass.
That's right.
Danny Bass was not soft. I am also fired up. And Coob, if you want to get that the clip from Rogers last night.
By the way, we need 14 thumbs. 14 thumbs on YouTube in half an hour, everybody, to get our minimum 200. Let's get going. Tell other people to thumb the show.
We talked about this yesterday.
What am I looking at here?
We talked about this yesterday and touching the cup, and it's totally irrelevant. But the way in which Connor McDavid finds a way to make something that is, he touched it, but then do it in his own way.
Right.
Almost steal it from Bill Daly.
Because Daly's thinking, okay, he's not going to touch it.
Right. And then the look on his face, and then Leon carrying it back like it's his most prized possession.
Did you see Kapanen pat it down?
Well, I think he was doing it look at me, I'm touching it, I'm touching it.
He's looking for his wallet.
To almost say, screw you.
Yeah.
Screw you and all your beliefs. We're touching the trophy we won. Reid. They won that trophy.
Yeah.
It's theirs. And this was the reaction last night at the watch party down at Rogers. So they're showing Connor McDavid on the big screen for those that are on the audio stream, and this is the reaction.
It's like what the? It's like they're witnessing an assault or something. It's like the mascot's getting attacked. What the hell?
Why did you do that?
Everybody, it means nothing. It truly means nothing.
I mean, that made me laugh out loud.
They won the trophy. to me, and so I'm watching with my mom and dad, right? And he goes up and he touches it, and I kind of chuckle. I think my mom was confused. I think she's like, "What's going on?" Like,
right.
Because I think my mom just assumed that perhaps there was even an NHL rule that for $10 million fine for.
Sure.
And my dad, my wonderful dad, who, by the way, is going to come fart on you someday. Near you.
Thank you.
If you missed, if people didn't hear yesterday's show, they're really confused by it. They're like, what is Reid's father all about? He's going to come fart on Reid's colleague? Whole different topic from yesterday's show. And my dad sees Connor touching the trophy, and my dad goes, "Look at Connor's screw you grin." Except he didn't say screw.
No, he didn't.
But yeah, I thought Connor was smirking a little bit, and then they gather around it. But yeah, if you're gonna, you're getting the trophy. You know, when game one starts, the Oilers are not going to be thinking about, and nor will the Panthers, whether or not they touch the trophy. It's just become this weird thing. Big Uke says, "I was stoked when he touched it. Hudson's exploded with excitement."
Yeah. You know what? It showed so much confidence. Just to say, screw everybody that thinks this is something. We know we're on a mission. We know what we're doing. We're going to touch the hell out of this thing. I think that's honestly what Kapanen was doing. Like, touch. Yeah. Must you touch? Please touch. Must you touch? You must touch. Touch.
We gotta make that.
Click. Must you click? Please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
Bill Daly maybe was saying that to him as he handed him the trophy. Oh, that is incredible. That is awesome. Yeah, I was surprised the reaction was that. Now it did sound, and maybe I'm being a bit of old yelling at a cloud curmudgeon. It did sound like that was a relatively young person yelling, "What the hell?"
Yes,
who perhaps might be more likely to believe in superstition. I don't know, but I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, they won it. But like we were saying yesterday, if you're that superstitious as a hockey team or think it's that inappropriate to touch a championship trophy that is not the ultimate championship trophy, then just wave at Bill Daly and skate off. Just say, "Okay, Bill, yeah, we see it." Or don't even look at it. Yeah. Just leave before the presentation. Shake hands and skate off the ice. And then Daly, then the announcer has to be like, "The Florida Panthers have won the Prince of Wales Trophy as Eastern Conference champions. Bill Daly is on hand to present the trophy. There will be no presentation as the winning team has left the ice."
We got a submission here. Another limerick came in from Library Pat.
Oh, nice.
It's a eulogy for Dallas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pete's face was angry and red. His team kept crapping the bed. He made a mistake and pulled out old Jake. And the Oilers just cruised on ahead. Very good.
That's pretty good.
Very good.
This is an interesting discussion. I know that's in the context of a limerick, but I actually don't think Peter DeBoer made a mistake. I think Jim Hiller made a mistake with the challenge.
I do.
Quite frankly.
I disagree with you. I do.
You think that was a mistake to pull Ottinger?
I really do.
You would have left him in?
Because I didn't see it as a calculated decision. I saw it as a snap decision in a moment where things were hot.
But that's what he's paid to do, though, is to make a decision when when your team isn't playing well.
You're paid to be cool and calm under pressure. He did not show that to me.
Making a decision does not mean he's not cool and calm. I mean, when Knobloch shuffles the lines, he's had that, like, I'm sure DeBoer felt, okay, I've reached my limit and my team is asleep, so I need to wake them up.
I understand that. It was just the way it was done. The way it was presented, at least on the broadcast, was out of line and to me, out of character for someone of an NHL head coach caliber. That's why I thought that was a mistake.
Okay.
Do you think putting in DeSmith gave them a better chance to win that game?
No.
Then, and let me ask you this. Do you think today, after the dust has settled, Pete DeBoer's sitting on the 10th tee box waiting for the next group to go ahead, do you not think he regrets that? Or do you
I don't think he does.
Let me say he does. You don't think he does?
He might second guess himself or talk about it, but I think he really thought, okay, we can't beat the Oilers with this goalie, or this goalie hasn't beaten the Oilers, and it's 2 goals on 2 shots. I need the rest of the team to wake up. I need to do something to jar the team. Like, I think he was trying to shock his team to life. Like, holy crap, he's pulled Jake? Wow. We better get going.
Yeah, but that shock value, and Reid, maybe we should have known this about Pete DeBoer, because he sure did a lot of selling in the press conferences throughout the series.
Sure.
Trying to sell his team and trying to get his team to believe. And if that was the move, then ultimately I think that was the wrong
They
move.
did play better after. Or do you think that's just because they were down 3-0?
Briefly.
they were due to play better. Because they couldn't have played much worse. Like, of course I give the Oilers credit, but I almost look at that and say Dallas lost the first 10 minutes as much as the Oilers won them.
What's the likelihood of that goal, Evander Kane's goal, going in if Jake Ottinger's in net?
Well, I don't know. But he let in Perry's over the arm on the power play.
True.
Interesting discussion.
It's always
Scotty Knows in the Nasty Chat says, I don't hate the move overall, but it was done very poorly, and I might have waited one more goal or swapped them at the period break if there were no more goals. I like, again, that's perfectly defensible, but I do think he was trying to rattle his team in a good way, like rattle them to life. Like, he was probably thinking, well, they can't play worse, so if they react poorly to this, we're going to lose anyway. But yeah, it's interesting.
Did you get a limerick from Jen?
Yeah. Do you want me to do it?
Sure. Give it a read.
Jen's limerick. For Barry's big bash, the Oilers ignite. The Stars lost their fight. Oh, what a sight. Jay and Reid have the scoop. Dallas out of the loop. Barry's birthday a banger. Let's party all night. Is that dedicated to Barry the Cheater? One of our listeners? That's his handle in the Nasty Chat? I'm not sure. But we've got a couple limericks from
Barry. The only Barry that comes to mind,
is Barry the Cheater, one of our listeners. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Experience all the excitement of the casino in the palm of your hand. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100Casino for a $100 casino bonus. The Big Uke is calling him Peter DeBoring. I don't think he's DeBoring at all.
Matt Hyman says Barry the husband.
Well, that's who that's dedicated to. All right. Well, we're dumb.
Well, happy birthday, Barry the husband.
We don't know everybody.
Interesting middle name.
I think, Thuz is middle name. Husband's his last name.
Well, Gager has 2 middle names.
He does. Who did Coob does?
Coob does too.
Yeah. Zachary Kevin.
Martin.
Kevin Martin Kubish? Yeah. Yeah, no.
Knew it. Jen says he is my husband.
Okay, now we're up to date. All right, we're very late into the break. I can't believe we
meandered.
We meandered a little bit. Here comes the aforementioned Coop.
From Edmonton, the Elks challenge the Lions to wrap up preseason action. Trey Ford, the expected starter for the Elks, while BC gives Nathan Rourke the start. Kickoff is at 7:30. And around the CFL, Hamilton and Toronto are scoreless midway through the first quarter, while the Red Blacks and Alouettes are just about to get underway. In basketball, the Stingers look to buzz the Bandits. Edmonton 2-3 entering the game. Vancouver 4-0. Listen to the game right here on EST with tip-off at 7. All of our audio streams with live coverage of the action. From Dallas, Paige Beckers of the Wings is out at least 2 games with concussion protocol. Out east, Moncton trails London 1-0 just about 7 minutes into the first period of the Memorial Cup semi-final. The winner plays Medicine Hat Sunday. And MLB action has the Jays and Athletics underway in the top of the second. They're scoreless with Chris Bassett pitching for Toronto. 5 other games live. The Brewers up 2-0 on the Phillies in the top of the third inning. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show continues on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary. 2 middle names, Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Chris Johnson.
I mean, there's sort of historical ramifications, and then there's just two teams that look like they have been the absolute class of their conferences for all kinds of reasons. It doesn't always happen that way in the NHL. Who's going to deny these guys? I mean, the goal McDavid scored last night was just breathtaking. Everything I've seen from Leahy and Draisaitl in particular have led the team. It's exactly what you want to see.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL. Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits. Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. It's always great to have some of our nasties come pick up a prize later in the day than usual, but it's our Smitty the Welder, who we were bugging each other in the chat and stuff, so we got to hug each other.
Well, one day early on in the show, you two kind of went at it. And
was it the first day?
Yeah. And, I guess it came to suggested that you two of you just hug it out.
Right. So we hugged.
You've done.
We hugged last time he was here, and now you didn't remember, so you were like, you got to hug.
No, I wasn't here.
Right. So I said, no, we've hugged. We'll hug again if the Oilers win the cup. So there'll be a second hug between Reid Wilkins and Smitty the Welder.
Wow. Should do it on air.
So I think he must have got a prize or something. Coob is helping him with that, so that's pretty cool. It's been a cool week here on EST. Hello Hockey tomorrow at 10. VIP Golf Show Sunday, what is it, at 8? With Danny Saul's going to be on the show, caddy for Corey Connors. And then we're back 6 a.m. Monday, getting you ready for the Stanley Cup Final, getting you ready for the CFL season, talking about whatever else is going on and is of note. One thing Jay and I have been doing is we've been hitting 200 thumbs up on YouTube. There was that one show, was it last Wednesday or Thursday? We didn't get there, but every other show during the postseason has had at least 200 thumbs up on YouTube, and we've had a couple over 300. But I'll tell you what, everybody, we're 3 thumbs away from 200.
Yes.
So if you haven't done it, you got to do it, or you got to text somebody to do it. Okay? We are pandering a little, not pandering, we are begging a little bit. Hey, a little bit. Well, not begging.
Not begging.
We like getting there, and it does help build the algorithm for the show on
It helps the algorithm.
On good old YouTube. Is that how you pronounce it? Speaking of mispronounce, YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, what are you looking up? Are you digging for stats?
No, I'm digging.
You're
getting my words
you're doing
ready,
something
baby.
Mischievous. Well,
I'm getting my words ready.
You don't prep word of the day till 5:33. I thought you got it ready in the afternoon. I never knew that.
I needed a. Okay, can I be honest with you? The word of the day that I usually go to as my trusted go-to site, which
you've
I
never
will not
revealed to me,
reveal to you today, was weak.
Oh, you think I would have known it?
It was
Or
gust.
just was what?
It was gust.
Gust? Like a
a
burst of wind?
Like a gust of wind, Reid.
Well, I
I'm
definitely
sorry.
would have spelled it right.
Yeah, I think you would have nailed that one. It would have been a bit of a letdown.
What's the definition? A sudden burst is a gust.
I can ask you it if you want.
Well, I think we've just done it.
Have you? I'm going to ask you it.
The definition of gust? A sudden burst.
Let's see here.
That is an increase of intensity from the previous state of something.
Yeah, I'm not asking you it.
Is that pretty much right?
Sudden or strong burst.
That is weird that would be a word of the day.
What are we doing at Word of the Day headquarters?
Oh, there's an HQ, is there?
Well, you need passwords and everything.
I'm not involved in that.
A lot of verification.
Rams guy Rob says, sorry, boys, I was pleasure delaying, a.k.a. driving.
No thumbing and driving.
We just assume you're not driving for 3 hours and you'll have time to do the thumb at some point.
Did you see this? Chris in the Nasty Chat said it's ridiculous. I got tickets for the Oilers and Florida games for 3 and 4 in Florida.
Okay.
And they only cost me $250 per game.
I don't even know what the ticket prices are for the Oilers games.
My flight cost me $180 on Air Canada there and back. But he also says he has a family member working for Air Canada. So
I would think it would be around $1,000 to go to an Oilers Stanley Cup final game. Somebody tell us. Somebody must have tickets.
Well, you can go on Ticketmaster and look at what they're reselling for.
Oh, right.
I'll hop on here right now, bro.
I mean, I'm pretty lucky because I haven't bought Oilers tickets in a long time.
Little flex there, no big deal.
Well, I'm not flexing. I'm just saying that I'm detached from reality. People haven't noticed that already.
Edmonton Oilers. Okay, game 1, Florida. So that's Wednesday.
Yeah.
The cheapest ticket available right now. I have lowest price. No, this can't be. My gosh. What do people do for a living to be able to afford this? I'm seeing, but this is in Sportsnet. I don't want that.
No, we don't want the lounge.
Section 224.
Well, the lounge is quite nice, apparently.
Section 224, row 9, $1,020 each.
So that's upper deck.
That's verified resale.
Wow. For one ticket or two?
Two.
So $512 a ticket?
No, one
ticket is $1,000 in the upper deck to the Stanley Cup final.
The best seat right now that pops up first is section 103, row 24. $2,700 per ticket.
So that'd be near the top of the lower bowl.
Yeah, right at
$2,700.
Yes,
for one ticket.
One ticket.
Well, but you might. What's it?
Whoa! Section 102, row 15. $5,900 a ticket.
What's it going to be for Game 5 if they come back with a 3-1 lead?
I don't want to know.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's terrible.
Hey, it's.
I mean, whatever. It's their.
So
I'm not gonna. Like Matty said one time, he tried shaming these Oilers fans that would resell.
Why?
And saying you're not really a fan if you're gonna resell. See you, Smitty.
See you, Smitty.
And I kind of disagree, man. Do with it what you want, and if you want to make some money, and let's say I don't know, pay for your kid's first car with an Oilers ticket, go ahead, knock your socks off.
Yeah, I don't like if you invest in tickets or something to resell it, and you can do it. I don't think that's being bad. I mean, are the people who buy hockey cards and then see them go up in value and sell them, are they bad people? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Some people might say I would never pay that for a hockey game. Well, that's fine. I respect that as well. But all the resellers need is one person who will, and they got the money, right?
Yeah, and it looks like, yeah. Wow. But as we know, you should probably go ahead and use fans first, right?
Jasmine in the Nasty Chat says the cheapest face value when my friend got in the queue was $1,396. So that's face value, and are now reselling for $2,200 to $4,400.
See, on fansfirst.ca, you can get tickets in the upper bowl for $865. So it's substantially lower.
So totally affordable.
Good point. What is going on?
Well, if they've been cashing in your Jays play of the day for Play Alberta.
Yeah, betting a lot.
When you won 6 in a row.
Coob, I want to just pull something up here. Can you pull up that Skinner clip before we go to break?
I didn't know this was coming either.
Well, I noticed this last night in the game, and I just had to rewind it quick and pull it up and record it. I just recorded it on my phone because 2 years ago in the playoffs against LA, Skinner goes out to play a puck.
Yeah.
At the time, it looked like he fanned on it.
We didn't know it at the time that the stick was cracked.
But his stick was broken, and it flopped on him. It was not his fault. Watch what Stu Skinner does here when he goes back behind his net to play this puck. See that stick tap? Watch it again. Roll it again, Coob.
And I have noticed that he does the bang on the ice.
Bang it on the ice.
I was
stick
wondering,
tap.
is that a signal for he wants the defenseman to go? What's going on?
No, I would be led to believe at least that he's making sure this dang thing ain't broken. So
Right.
He doesn't have that happen again. I thought that was pretty neat. I didn't notice it until last night, but I figured maybe that's why.
Maybe, yeah. So was that game 6 in 2023? When Yamamoto got the late goal? Remember?
I don't remember what game it was.
I think it might have been game 6. Game 6 of 2023. Stuart Skinner's goalie stick broke, causing a misplayed puck that led to a shorthanded goal by Philip Deneau. The crack in the stick was due to Kempe hitting at a rebound a few minutes ahead of that time, right?
What happened to... sorry to go off here.
No,
what happened to... Didn't it used to be illegal for you to be a scalper? Here's your tickets. Hey, who needs tickets? I got your tickets here.
I think it depends on the jurisdiction.
Why is it legal? Why is it legal for you to go on Ticketmaster?
Yeah, and I think it might be illegal. I think the resale sites are legal, but I think maybe standing on the tickets or on the street yelling out in public trying to sell tickets, that might now be illegal. I'm not sure.
Like, isn't there like Garth Brooks or something where you physically cannot resell your tickets?
Yeah, I don't know how they did that. Or
some sort of an artist. Like, why don't the Oilers do that? Say the hell with this. I mean, this is absurd. And I'm not, hey, like I said, I'm all free enterprise. You want to go and do that? Fill your boots.
But
I'm just saying,
is there a point where you're taking advantage of people, perhaps?
Well, absolutely, you are. I just find it odd that it's just totally legal now. I remember going to Eskimos games when I was a kid, and there was the guy outside every time. Yeah. Who needs tickets? You know, and it's like, oh, stay away from that guy.
Right.
He's a scalper, Jay. Right. Stay away. Nope, not anymore.
Yeah, we'll have to check what the laws actually are, because clearly, but is it not? Okay, the stuff that's being resold on Ticketmaster, though, is it not? Does the team not control that to some extent?
Well,
I guess I could still go on eBay and say, here's some tickets. I don't know. It's pretty hard to control now in the online world. Would it not be?
No, I mean, there are. And then if you know, I'm pretty sure there's artists, like big time artists that don't like that don't allow that. Like I know, I don't know if Kid Rock controls the secondary market, but I know he will only do concerts where the ticket prices are low.
Right.
And the food and beverages is also controlled.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not
absurd. If you're that big, I guess you could have some control over it. That's interesting stuff. But yeah, so anyway, it's probably, if you want to go see a game in the Stanley Cup final in Edmonton, you're probably looking at at least $600?
Oh.
At least, more likely close to $1,000 or higher. Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Make your birthday epic at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a vibe you won't forget. Book your party now at thebanquetbar.com. You've done it again, Nasties. We are over 200 thumbs for the show. Thank you very much. We're at 207. Let's see if we can get to 220 by the end of the show. The Cube has a sports update. We're going to dive into our words of the day, which is always fun.
At home, the Elks go head-to-head against the Lions in their final preseason contest. Trey Ford is the expected starter for the Elks. Nathan Rourke gets a nod for BC. Kickoff is at 7:30. Elsewhere, the Ticats and Argos are scoreless entering the second quarter. Alouettes and Red Blacks about to get underway. In CEBL action has Edmonton hosting Vancouver from the Hive. The Stingers 2-3 in the early going. The Bandits 4-0. Catch the game right here on any of EST's audio streams with tip-off at 7. Elsewhere, Memorial Cup semifinal action has London up 1-0. Landon Sims scoring for the Knights with about 5 minutes left in the first. Medicine Hat takes on the winner of that matchup in the final. MLB action, Jays and Athletics locked at 1 apiece in the bottom of the second. 1 out for Toronto. Bases loaded. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at bat. 5 other games are live. Giants up 1-0 in the bottom of the second against the Marlins. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Corey Perry on why the Oilers can win it all.
We're mature. We've learned, and we're learning every game. The way we're playing, the way, the calmness on the bench and making plays when things are going hairy and on the ice. And this group, it's been a want since the end of last year, and there's been a lot of thinking about what happened last year and self-reflecting and. But here we are.
And head coach Chris Knobloch, why this year can end differently than last season.
I think last year we had a good team, and I think this year we've got a good team also. We're built a little bit different, but if it's going to change, we got to play our best hockey. You know, a lot of credit to Florida. They might even be better than they were last year. You know, for a team to get there 3 years in a row, that's not by accident. And, you know, they beat a pretty good team in Carolina. And, you know, I think we have a chance, but we're going to have to be at our best to get ourselves that opportunity.
All right. Well, I think the Oilers have been at or close to their best for more playoff games than not. Now that they're, 20 games in? No, not that many. 16, 12. Oh, I was already giving them the 4 wins against Florida. My bad. Did I just inadvertently, subconsciously predict a sweep? I think I did.
What do they play? 16 games?
They're 12-4, right?
12-2.
If they got to 20, this game's over in 4. This series would be over in 4. My God, that's not my prediction, but like it's the universe just send me a message.
You're not going to predict a sweep?
We'll see.
TBD?
TBD. I probably won't. Will you?
I've kind of let the cat out of the bag. What my pick will be.
Oh, well, you could bet something you're not going to actually predict though on air.
No,
you can't.
No.
Okay,
get out of here.
Gonna happen.
I'm going Oilers in 6. Book it.
780-218-9999 is how you text us using the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. All right, into the final 5 minutes of the week here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne, presented by Play Alberta. Oh, somebody in the message that just put "Love you, Jay and Reid." So either they love us or somebody stole their phone and typed that as a joke.
That was always fun. You find the friend's phone at a party that's open, and go on their Facebook and announce something to the world that maybe wasn't true.
Yeah,
classic.
All right, it's double word of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
And if you think the Oilers are going to win in 6, head over to playalberta.ca and check out Jay's play of the day. It is currently up there, as well as Dusty's play of the day, Reid. Did you see what Dusty had?
Yes, but I've forgotten since.
Edmonton Elks win.
You can bet on the preseason?
Yeah,
plus
I didn't 105.
Oh, wow, okay.
Gonna sprinkle that right now.
I don't know if I'd be comfortable doing that given the roster size and
I just
questions about playing time.
I think they try put it to bed early on in the game, and it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight down at Commonwealth. The first word of the day.
We need one thumb for 210. Let's do it.
Do you want the easy one first or the hard one?
Yeah, I want you to pick. Just I'll roll with it.
Okay.
Don't tell me if it's the hard one or the easy one, please.
Okay, autumnal. Autumnal.
AUTUMNAL. This is relating to the season of autumn.
Pardon me, say that again.
This is relating to the season of autumn. Even though it was May, the temperatures were quite autumnal. I've used this word in a sentence in my life.
That is incredible.
I love that word, autumnal.
Autumnal.
It's a very autumnal day out there. Not today, actually. It's quite hot out, isn't it?
Hey, Koo, what's on the autumnal today?
Oh, jeez. There were some temperatures about a week and a half ago that were quite autumnal.
Rather autumnal.
Where you went outside and were like, is it October 15th? What is going on, my friend?
Second word of the day, dactylogram.
Oh, all right.
Dactylogram.
So I've done 3 in a row perfectly, and now I get what?
Dactylogram.
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 There's only one.
Yeah, dactylogram.
There's only one. Okay.
Dactylogram.
There's only one spelling that really comes to mind. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm going to try it, okay?
Okay.
Dactylogram. DACHTYLOGRAM. Is it TIL in the middle?
No.
Yeah, then I don't know what it is.
Take out the H.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dactylogram.
So this, this is a noun. Yeah, I'm assuming this is a multi-sided object. but how many sides?
Do you want to take the use it in a
Really?
sentence?
It's all okay. I'll use it in a sentence. Or you can.
He compared the dactylogram to dozens of archived prints, searching for a match.
Okay.
The only evidence left behind...
It's a fingerprint. It's a fingerprint. Dactylogram is another word for fingerprint?
That is correct.
Wow. So, like, tonight, if your kid spills something in 1 minute, you'd be like, Jablonski, your dactylograms are all over this.
Imagine going into the police station and they're like, sir, we need to take your dactylograms. What?
Like, okay.
What does that mean?
Sure. Can I get him out of the car? He doesn't want to admit that he doesn't know what they are.
Do you have any dactylograms on you?
I did not, so I went 0 for 2 on that one, but I got a dactylogram. I did not know that was I thought, okay, now, do you understand why I would think that was some sort of multi-sided object or...
Sure.
Or I guess a gone, like a dactylogram, because a polygon is a multi-sided. So I thought this might be like something with 12 sides, but that would be the word, the suffix GON would be the number of sides. Okay. So pterodactyl, someone put in the nasty chat. So does that become, they have like fingery web fingers, maybe, perhaps? Maybe that's where that comes from?
Maybe.
Well, we'll have to look. We'll have to watch Jurassic Park and figure it out.
Probably not.
All right, everybody. We're going into the weekend. Elks game tonight. Stingers game tonight. The Stingers game is streamed right here on Edmonton Sports Talk starting at 7. Hello Hockey, 10 to noon tomorrow with Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell. VIP golf show with Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock, 8 a.m. on Sunday. And PGA caddy Danny Saul going to be one of their guests. Big thanks to Zachary Kubish. He's the glue guy, Jason Milne. I'm Reid. Have a great weekend.